Honourable members, shall we pray? Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favour upon this Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give the divine guidance to the President of the Republic, endow members of Parliament and ministers of state with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of government, this land and people may be well and truly served, and thy good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of our country, fair as it might be, a country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service and honor shall be given to the deserving, a country of peace, where government shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Bless the effort of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Honourable members, can we turn to item 5? Item 5 in today's order paper. That is correction of votes and proceedings and that of the official report. Votes and proceedings and that of the official report. We will begin with votes and proceedings. And we will start from page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page number 7. Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Page 18. Page 19. Page number 20. Page 21. Page 22. Page 23. Page 24. Page 25. Page 26. page 27. And finally, page 28. Honorable members, in the absence of any corrections, the votes and proceedings of Tuesday, the 21st July 2026 is hereby adopted as the true records of proceedings. Honorable members, I have in my hands the 14th July 2026 edition of the official report. 14 July 2026 edition of the official report. Honorable members, I take it for the last time. 14 July 2026 edition of the official report. Honorable members, in the absence of any corrections, the official report of Tuesday, the 14th July 2026 is hereby adopted as the true records of proceedings. Yes, leadership.
Mr. Speaker, we want to take motion number 15 at page 8 of today's order paper.
Leader, is the ranking here or any member of the committee? If the ranking is not here, then probably I will hold on to that and we can take a statement or if you can lay some of the papers.
Mr. Speaker, we have only one statement in the name of Kwame Appiah Kodua, but I'm sure he's not around. So we can take the report.
Yes, Habib, Honorable, can I hear you?
Mr. Speaker, I don't think there should be any challenge with regards to the report, because yesterday we were meant to take those reports, but I related with the chairman of the Energy Committee that we were exhausted. So today we could take that report. And I don't know, even though I can't see any from our side, but if it will not hurt, we can quickly just take that.
If you agree, then we can take the report. Yes. So is it that is 15, motion 15?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Wonderful. So honorable members, come with me to page 8. Page 8. Item listed 15. Motion by the chairman of the Energy Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to request that motion numbered 15 on today's order paper, page 8, be taken today, notwithstanding the provision of Order 104.1 or the standing order, which requires that a motion shall not be debated until at least 2 sitting days have elapsed, that a notice to move the motion is given. The motion for adoption of the report of the Committee on Energy on the annual statement by the Audit Committee of the National Petroleum Authority for the year 2024 may be moved today. I so move.
Thank you very much. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honorable members, this is procedural motion. I will therefore crave your indulgence to put the question. And the question is, as many as are in favor that motion listed 15 in today's order paper is adopted, say aye. Aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion listed 15 is carried. Yes, Chairman, can we take the substantive motion 16?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I so move that the motion to enable this House adopt the report of the Committee on Energy on annual statement by the Audit Committee of the National Petroleum Authority for the year 2024. Mr. Speaker, having moved the motion, I will also present your committee's report. Mr. Speaker, for lack of time, I will request that the Hansard Department will capture the whole report as being read, whilst I read the observation and conclusion. Mr. Speaker, the Audit Committee review all the audit findings and recommendations in respect of the authority for the year under review. The committee noted that most audit issues have been successfully resolved by the authority. However, the following issues were not fully resolved. Inventory and store management weaknesses. The statement observed that the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, had significant weaknesses in the stores management system as one of its regional offices, including the absence of shelves, the failure to assign a dedicated store officer, inadequate stores documentation, and poor inventory management practices. The committee noted that although management had acknowledged the deficiencies, the corrective measures had remained outstanding beyond the implementation timeline, with the authority attributing the delay to the budgetary constraints and addition to seek approval to expand the corrective intervention to cover all the regional offices. The committee recommends that management expedites the completion of the stores improvement program across all regions, all regional offices, and ensure that each office is equipped with adequate storage facilities, assign qualified store personnel, and operate with the requisite inventory control documentation to strengthen accountability over public assets. Weak management oversight over budget performance. The statement observed that management did not regularly review budget performance reports before their submission to the board, contrary to sound financial management practices. Although management indicated that corrective measures had since been introduced, the committee considered the omission to be a fundamental weakness which could impinge sound corporate governance and accountability. The committee recommends that management institutionalize periodic budget performance review at management level and ensures that all heads of department have timely access to budget performance information and feedback to facilitate effective financial oversight and decision-making. Outstanding receivables and debt recovery challenges. The audit committee observed that the authority continued to carry a substantial outstanding receivable from oil marketing companies, OMCs, including long outstanding debts with no movement over several years. The committee noted that in response to the issue, management has established a receivable committee and has successfully recovered significant amount of outstanding debt, 170,837,250 and 250 cedis, 0 pesos, successfully recovered out of the total of 231,729,203 Ghana cedis, 95 pesos. Deactivated defaulting entities from the electronic licensing platform and referred certain cases for investigation. The committee recommends that management intensify the debt recovery efforts by strengthening the work of the receivable committee, continuously monitor aged receivables, pursuing legal recovery actions where necessary, and provide periodic reports on debt recovery performance to help guide credit decision. Need to strengthen enforcement of the regulatory framework. The statement observed that management had identified limitations in existing legislative framework as part of...
Honorable, can you jump to conclusion, please?
In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, the committee is satisfied that a statement has been prepared and presented to Parliament in accordance with the Public Financial Management Act at 2016 at 921 and Audit Committee Guidelines 2023. The committee recommends to the House to adopt this report on the annual statement by the Audit Committee of the National Petroleum Authority for the year 2024, respectfully submitted. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the motion has been moved and the report of the committee has been read. Let me have now cited Honorable Collins Admakun, the Deputy Ranking. Ranking, can you second the motion? And
yes, Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion ably moved by my chairman and to state that this report is in respect of the year 2024. It is true that we identify some internal control ineffectiveness. Fortunately, when we were considering the 2025, we realized that most of the issues have been taken care of and resolved in the 2025 report that was presented to us. One of the biggest issues that we encountered was the inability of the management of NPA to meet regularly to, as it were, brainstorm on performance within the year. We acknowledged that and informed them that we do not want to see that weakness occur again in subsequent reports. If you look at the outstanding receivables, Mr. Speaker, over 170 million had been recovered from the 231 million that was outstanding. This year, that effort has continued, having put together a debt recovery strategy, which they explained to us is in full effect. And so, Mr. Speaker, I want to assure members that efforts are being made to ensure that such anomalies do not appear in subsequent audit reports. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
thank you very much. Honorable members, the motion has been moved and it has been seconded. It is now before the House for consideration. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the report of the Committee on Energy on the annual statement by Audit Committee of the National Petroleum Authority. Mr. Speaker, going through the report, I do observe that the committee recommendations are about 5 different folds. And Chairman of the committee, I am very happy that the conclusion part that you certified that there was actually no problem. But currently, you could see that even though this House, sometime last year, passed the energy sector recovery levy 2025, where we introduced 1 liter, 1 cedi per liter of fuel. The essence of this was to reduce the price of fuel at the pump. But it is very sad that looking at the 2024 annual report, as at then, the price of a liter of fuel in terms of diesel was somewhere 14. And then that of petrol was around 11 to 12 cedis per liter. But currently, after introducing the energy sector recovery levy to introduce 1 cedi per liter of fuel, at the moment, a liter of fuel at the filling station is going above 16 cedis per liter, and that of diesel and that of petrol is somewhere around 14 per liter. And so, Chairman, the issue I'm raising based on the recommendations that your committee said in its report, it is an indication that the levy that we did introduce did not solve its problem. One of the other reasons for introducing the e-levy, then the energy sector recovery levy of the 1 cedi, was to keep our lights on. But there is doomsaw in other parts of the country, which it did not serve its purpose, to reduce the price of fuel at the pump, yet fuel prices are higher than what the NDC government inherited. So this is a clear indication that even after introducing 1 liter per liter at pumps, you could not even keep the prices that you inherited. And even introducing the 1 cedi per liter to keep our lights on, we are still experiencing doomsaw in other parts of the country. Even with the energy sector recovery, the reporting to this House in terms of oversight, government had reported that the first 8 months, they were supposed to come back to this House to tell us how much has been realized and to also report to us what has been done. That hasn't been done. I have been able to take it upon myself to file an RTI to the minister responsible for energy about the amount of money that was realized in the energy sector recovery to reduce the price of fuel at the pump, but yet no response have come into that. So, Mr. Speaker, without much, even though I support the adoption of the audit report of the committee, but it is a clear indication that the NDC government, this current government, introduction of the 1 cedi per liter did not solve any problem in the country. It did not stop doomsaw, and it did not reduce the price of fuel at the pump. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable Member, if your leader... We are going to have, I think we have about seven different. Okay, then let me go to Afajeto South before I come to you.
Speaker, I'm so grateful for the opportunity, whilst I also rise to add my voice for the adoption of the Audit Committee report of the National Petroleum Authority for the 2024 financial year. Mr. Speaker, I wish to particularly draw attention to page 3, item 5.1, which has to do with inventory and store management weaknesses. And in particularly, this report has highlighted deficiencies such as poor inventory, inadequate store documentation, and no dedicated store officer. Mr. Speaker, this is at the heart of weak internal control measures. And once internal control measures are weak, it means operationally and financially, the institution will not be stable. And so, for us to guarantee that there is a balance between supply and demand, we must definitely ensure that internal control measures are strong enough so as to avoid overstocking, and so that we make the best use of the little resources that we have. With this few intervention, I wish to call on the House to adopt the report of the committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. I'll give the last law to Honorable Dr. Kabiru.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Energy Committee for having represented the House in examining the internal audit report of the National Petroleum Authority. Mr. Speaker, two quick issues. The first issue has to do with observation on inventory management. Mr. Speaker, this, I find it quite important to comment on because it is quite a phenomenon among almost all institutions that appear before us in terms of this internal control system. And it's important that as a House, we don't have to have this repeating in every report, every internal audit report that comes to us, because it's becoming a habit and they don't see the agency, but internal controls are as important as any external auditing process because the compliance with corporate governance depends on the system we put in place. And I think that as a House, we need to see how we can address this once and for all. Mr. Speaker, but one of the explanations they keep giving us, which is also contained in this report, is to the effect that they have not been able to do procurement, i.e. of information management system or inventory management systems. And when you ask, you say the Minister of Finance has not given them financial clearance in order to procure those particular, management systems. And I think that we have to, as a House, if at committee level or we have joint committees or even what the committee as a whole, to, send a clear message because, Mr. Speaker, when they keep coming to us and they keep bringing the same mistakes, the same error, the same internal weakness, governance, corporate governance weaknesses, it sends a sense that we are not actually doing our meanwhile, we keep on making recommendations. Mr. Speaker, the last issue has to do with the observation about receivables. The MPA has about 231 million, over 231 million receivables. In other words, this is money that belongs to the state, but this money cannot be retrieved. And due to their internal system, what we call the receivable committees, they were able to receive at about a half of this amount. What it means is that about half of over 170 million is still at large or is still money that we've not been able to, collect. And I think that as an institution, once we commend the MPA for, putting in measure to retrieve part of the money, we must do more because this country cannot be, looking for revenue in order to meet our demands, and yet we have money in the hands of individuals, in the hands of private people that we cannot, retrieve. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. And I also urge the House to adopt or to, accept the report of the committee as reflecting for that particular 2024 financial year. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, at the conclusion of the debate, the question is as many as are in favor of the motion listed 16 in today's order paper, say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, it's obvious the ayes have it. The motion listed 16 in today's order paper is hereby carried. We turn to motion 17. Chairman of the Energy Committee. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker.
Chairman, you have so many reports.
Yes,
so
Mr. Speaker.
Please
I will
try to make them snappy.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
I want to cleave your indulgence to move to motion 19 on 19. The petroleum hub.
I called 17.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. They don't have the copy there, so I'll move to 19 and then come back to 17.
Yes, Honorable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether it is the chairman of the committee who applied for the variation of order of business. His leadership should have been able to do that. And also, you are not giving us enough reasons why you want to move away from motion 17.
That is Habib for you.
So, Mr. Speaker, the right thing should be done. The leadership, they should apply for the variation of the order of business.
Unless
so that
he wants to outreach his leaders.
Yes, Honorable Champon.
Mr. Speaker, as the chairman just said, many of them don't have enough copies of the report. That's why You want to vary it and do 19. And with the 19, Mr. Speaker, we are talking about 2024 reports, but they've stated 2025, so it must be corrected. The 19 is 2024.
Motion
report.
19 or page 19?
Motion 19 at page 9.
Well. So the application has been granted. The application has been granted, but the chairman, before I will allow you the floor, kindly indulge me to acknowledge our visitors at the public gallery. We have a couple of schools at the public gallery, and the first school is Agomeda Presby Basic School. Agomeda Presby Basic School. They are here being led by Asay Aguda Gilbert, who is a teacher of the school, and the school is located in the Shai Doku constituency. Shai Doku constituency. I'm told your number is 59. The second school is Amos Okra SDA Primary. Amos Okra SDA Primary. Their leader is Clement Odroboateng, who is assistant head teacher, and the school is located in the Kwabre East constituency. Kwabre East constituency. Your number, I'm told, is 55. The third school is Sakra Wono RC Primary. Sakra Wono RC Primary. Your leader is Antonio Poku, who is the head teacher, and the school is again located in Kwabre East constituency. Kwabre East constituency. Your number, again, I'm told, is 57 this time around. The fourth school is students from Offenso North District. Students from Offenso North District. Your leader is Martin Adofojo, who is the District Director of Education, Ghana Education Service. And the group is located in the Offenso North constituency. Offenso North constituency. Yes, I can see Dr. Fred Asamoah here, the Member of Parliament. And your number, I'm told, is 64. Dr. Fred Asamoah, you've seen your group from Akumadan area.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Offenso North, we have one student from each junior secondary school to make sure that at least every single year we can cover the entire constituency. But I'm grateful,
Thank you.
Mr.
I'm
Speaker.
giving you that. Yes, thank you. So the fifth school is Methodist AC Junior High School. Methodist AC Junior High School. Your leader is Edmondson Samuel Kobina. Edmondson Samuel Kobina, who is a teacher, and the school is located in a Futu constituency, my leader's constituency. Yes. Again, we have University of Business and Integrated Studies. University of Business and Integrated Studies. Their leader is Tynos Tozi, who is the Law Students Union President. And the group is located in the Wa Central constituency. Wa Central constituency. You are 13 in number. Come again. That's your alma mater. Then you are going to take care of them. Doctor, are you going to take care of them?
Mr. Speaker, I mean, they need to experience the hospitality of Ghanaian Parliament. And if I am nominated by the right speaker to do that, if I am nominated by the right to do that, I will do that.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know why the majority side, in fact, the MP for Wa Central is a minister of state. He's a minister. So it is a case that your minister cannot take care of them, and we will know that the MP cannot take care of them. And then we will know on record that the MP who is a minister cannot take care of them. Then the opposition MP can try to do what he can do.
Yes, Honorable Comfordo.
Mr. Speaker, you are leading Honorable Kabiru into temptation. So please don't lead him into temptation.
But he opted to declare that school as his alma mater. So that is why, yes. Thank you. And the last school, yes. Yes, Honorable Bezedin.
Yes, thank you very much. Right, Honorable Speaker. Dr. Kabiru, that is not his alma mater. You attended what? No UBs. Did you attend UBs? You did not attend UBs.
Honorable President, I don't think this is the platform for this discussion.
Mr. Speaker, the West Central Constituency MP, Honorable Rashid Pelpua, is not in the chamber. Why? We are here. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, 3 of us are from the Upper West region, and we are here. Certainly, we'll take care of them. We'll take care of them. Why? We are capable of taking care of them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The last school is...
Mr. Speaker, I think it's important we settle this matter. That 3 members of parliament from the Upper West, the MP for DBI is here. Mr. Speaker, when we say Kroma Eshi, Mr. Speaker, to wait, there is no money in the system. Everybody is suffering, including the MPs. That is the reason why they cannot even own up to even support their people. It's clear. The MPs are running away from responsibility. You know, many of them, doctor was hiding. Look at where Honorable Bizidin is seated, and he's about leaving the chamber. He's on the exit point. So it means that things are difficult. So the MPs, majority MPs, you can't even take care of visitors. Mr. Speaker, Kroma Eshi.
Dr. Sandari.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just to set the record straight that under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the resetting agenda, Ghana is working. And therefore, we have no problem
taking care of them.
Taking care of them. We are ready to take care of them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, the last school is the Akuman 1 GHSM Primary. The Akuman 1 GHSM Primary. Yes, their leader is Fortune Abesiafa, who is a teacher, and the school is located in the Abrikuma North constituency. Abrikuma North constituency. I'm told your number is 60. So all of you, on behalf of the House, we want to welcome you and wish you a pleasant stay in Parliament. Thank you, and once again, you are welcome. Yes. Now, page 9, motion 19. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that notwithstanding the provision of Order 1041 of the Standing Orders, which requires that motion shall not be debated until 2 sitting days have elapsed after the notice to move the motion is given. The motion for the adoption of the report of the Committee on Energy on the budget performance reports in respect of Ministry of Energy and Green Transition for the year 2025 be moved today. I so move.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Rankin.
Mr. Speaker, I support the motion.
Well. The motion has been moved and has been seconded. Honorable members, this is procedural. I will therefore crave your indulgence to put the question. And the question is as many as are in favor of the motion listed 19 in today's order paper. Say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion listed 19 is hereby adopted. Yes, Chairman, let's take the motion 20.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move motion item 20 on page 9 of today's order paper. Mr. Speaker, as I move the motion, I also submit your committee's report. Mr. Speaker, because of the numbers, I will ask that the Hansa Department captures the whole report as being read, as I read only the concluding part. Mr. Speaker, the committee acknowledges the efforts of management of the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition and its agencies in delivering on their mandate during the year under review, despite the slow releases of budgetary funds. The committee respectfully recommends to the House to adopt this report on the budget performance report in respect of Ministry of Energy and Green Transition for the period January to December 2025. I so move.
Thank you very much. Yes, Rankin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in supporting the motion, the committee finds some observations which I would like the House to be aware of it, because, Mr. Speaker, when you look at paragraph, I think that's 5.6, it was there that the ministry intends to establish special purpose vehicle to establish 1,200 megawatt thermal power plant. But, Mr. Speaker, we already have state entities like VRA who handles both hydro and thermal generation. I think we can make VRA handle such a thermal plant instead of having a special purpose vehicle to handle this, because it's going to be autonomous, monotonous, or whereby VRA can be divided into two, have a thermal division, and then we have the hydro also division. I think VRA can handle such an entity. And then when you move ahead, budget approvals also has become a challenge to the ministry, because the ministry was allocated 1.2 billion cedis. At the end of the year, only 706 million was released to the ministry. It has become an issue whereby the ministry currently need a gas for the gas plant that we have in this country. But, Mr. Speaker, there is persistent natural gas challenges in this country to feed the power, the thermal plant. An LNG terminal project that was to be established in Tema has already started, but due to this budget, inconsistent release of this budget allocation has made the gas an issue. So, Mr. Speaker, in supporting this report, I will urge the Ministry of Finance to constantly release the budget allocation to the ministry for them to be able to continue with their work. Mr. Speaker, I recommend this House to adopt this report and then the budget performance of this Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, the motion has been moved and it has been seconded. The motion is now before all of us for consideration. Yes, my brother.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion on the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. Mr. Speaker, during the committee meeting, some audit issues were observed, and my chairman and the ranking have mentioned some of them. One of them has to do with delays in issuance of commitment authorization. The other has to do with low budget outing for capital expenditure, and then development of the 1,200 megawatts thermal power plant, which is also delayed. Mr. Speaker, in all, the committee observed that the cabinet has approved, cabinet approved development of the second gas processing plant. The Deputy Minister informed the committee that the ministry was pursuing the implementation of the project through public-private partnership arrangement. He further indicated that a ministerial steering committee had been established to provide strategic oversight over the project, and that project is very important for our energy sector. Mr. Speaker, on this basis, I call on the House to support the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, let me take Honorable Azebwama.
I didn't prepare.
Most grateful, Mr. Speaker, for indulging me to comment on this audit report from the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. Mr. Speaker, I would comment briefly on two critical aspects. The first was raised briefly by my colleague, and that has to do with the delays in issuance of commitment authorization, 5.5. This has become a very serious area of concern if you look at what other ministries have been reporting on. We all were in this house and we agreed that the Minister of Finance would introduce the commitment authorization. But the assurance was for the minister to use it to streamline expenditure and budgets that comes to them. But it shouldn't lead to undue delays to affect the work that the ministries, departments, and agencies require to do their work. Because at the end of the day, if they don't get the money, which has been approved by this House, then it is of no consequence that we introduce the commitment authorization. So that is key. Mr. Speaker, my second commentary will be situated on the second gas processing plant. At 5.7, it said that they're looking at developing a second gas processing plant. But the issue that the committee raised was pursuing this through a PPP engagement or an arrangement. We already have Ghana Gas established. We have to empower Ghana Gas, separate it from JNPC, establish it as an entity body corporate to run the issues of gas for this country. Ghana Gas has been operating as a subsidiary or a subset of JNPC, but the demands of gas and its implications for our energy sector is dire. And so it is important that instead of engaging in PPP arrangement for a second gas processing plant, why don't we put it under the domain of Ghana Gas, so that at the end of the day, Ghana Gas will have a holistic determination of our gas infrastructure. They will manage it and then use it for the benefit of the Ghanaian people. Without more, Mr. Speaker, I commend the committee for a yeoman's job, and I will call on honorable members to support the adoption of this report. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your indulgence.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Masue Lekuto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the report and to ask that we adopt it. About the 5.7, it is good that we are thinking of the development of the second gas processing plant, the GPP2. My concern more is about us veering more into the renewable energy. As we speak, the generation mix for Ghana is thermal is 66%, hydro is 33%, and renewable energy is just 1%. I believe that we should be thinking more of veering into the solar energy, which is part of the renewable energies, because of the green transition aspect that we've added to the ministry. So that once we concentrate more on the solar energy and other smaller sources of energy generation, they will be cutting down on how much money we spend on the thermal, especially because of the cost that associated with fuel and other expenses. And so I wish to say that we appreciate what the ministry is doing so well, but as the name demands, we should be pushing more into the other sources of renewable energy to make sure that we increase the mix. On that score, I wish to say that the report is good, and I urge the House to adopt it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Collins Admarcom.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just listened to my very good friend, Dr. Nyakote, on the comments on this report, and he was smiling all over the place. But during our meeting, he was not smiling at all. During our deliberations with the minister, he was not excited with the performance. So I'm surprised he's smiling on the floor. Mr. Speaker, the truth of the matter is that out of the 1.2 billion that was allocated to the ministry, only 657 million was released to the Ministry of Energy. In fact, a lot of the programs that were planned for 2025 were not met as a result of this inadequate amount of money released to the ministry. In fact, Mr. Speaker, if you look at what we call the universal access rate of electricity, they promised to do 90% by the close of 2025. That target was not met. The reason given was that, and my chairman was there, the reason was that monies have not been released for this particular purpose. So I'm surprised Mr. Nyakote, who was so angry, now smiling all over the place. And if you look at the conclusion, Mr. Speaker, the conclusion is quite clear. Despite the slow releases of budgetary funds, it's quite clear. When you come to the 1,200 megawatt thermal plant, Mr. Speaker, as my ranking member said, there are state-owned institutions that are already involved in power generation. This government has set up an SPV to conduct this particular project, same as the second gas processing plant. We have Ghana Gas, but they've set up a special purpose vehicle to undertake this particular project. Commitment authorization. Mr. Speaker, we have visited almost all the agencies under the ministry. Everywhere we go, the major problem with almost all the agencies has to do with commitment authorization. Most of their projects have been delayed because there's a huge delay at finance to release this commitment authorization. So I was not surprised when the report was presented to us, and it was clear, based on their performance report that they presented to us, that they've not met almost all their targets. Almost all their targets have not been met, Mr. Speaker. So I will entreat the Ministry of Finance that this issue of commitment authorization, delays in commitment authorization, be looked at very critically. IPP renegotiations. In the 2025 budget, Mr. Speaker, it was announced that they've made savings of $250 million. It was repeated in the 2026 budget. When they came to meet us, it became clear that even the document that has to come to Parliament for Parliament to deliberate on has not been presented to Parliament. But they had gone ahead to announce in the budget that they've made some savings. It was just 2 days ago that we got hints that the report has been presented to Parliament. But it has already been announced in the budget that they are making a savings of $250 million. So I plead with the Ministry of Energy and the Ministry of Finance to collaborate very well to ensure that next year's performance will be better than what we have here. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Dr. Kabiru, but be snappy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the first observation, IPP renegotiation. Mr. Speaker, we do know as of record that as part of the energy sector recovery program, the IPP renegotiation was commenced under the leadership of Yao Osafo-Manfo. Mr. Speaker, this initiative was born out of the recognition that we had entered into power purchase agreement or an agreement that we were of the view that the amount per unit of power was not realistic, and also because of the onerous responsibility on Ghanaian government to pay some of the take-or-pay contracts that we had engaged in. Mr. Speaker, today if the Minister of Minister of Energy is reporting that the process is completed and we are making some savings of $250 million, Mr. Speaker, it's worthy of commendation. The only issue which this report has also noted is the lack of legal enforceability of this particular amount, because you cannot tell the good people of Ghana that we are saving $250 million from the renegotiation of this independent power power purchase agreement with these IPPs, when you cannot really actually have the ability to enforce the savings. So, Mr. Speaker, I would urge the ministry responsible for power and grid transition, energy and grid transition, to come to this house, because it's a major issue for us as a government that our power agreements are actually we're bloated, for a lack of better word, Mr. Speaker. And if we are making some savings, we need to have means of ensuring enforcement. Mr. Speaker, the last issue that the committee also noted is the fact that Cabinet had approved the agreement for subsequent submission to Parliament. We've not yet received this yet. And I think that's the point my leader and deputy ranking of the committee made. It is not proper that the people responsible are not yet even aware of this particular process. You've not brought it before Parliament, yet you are making news of it outside the chamber of the House. When, in the end, our scrutiny shows something different, the Ghanaian people will be losing trust in us, then we need to ensure that we don't put the cart before the horse. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity, and I also urge us we support and approve this report.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, at the conclusion of the debate, the question is, all those in favor that motion listed 20 in today's order paper be approved, say aye. All those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Motion listed 20 in today's order paper is hereby adopted. Yes. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move the motion number 21 on today's order paper. Mr. Speaker, this is a procedural motion, so I so move.
Yes, Honourable Abuaje.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, motion listed 21, page 9, has been moved, and the ranking has seconded the motion. With your indulgence, since it is a procedural motion, I'll put the question, and the question is, all those in favor that motion listed 21 is adopted, say aye. All those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is carried. Now, let's take the substantive motion listed 22.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move the motion that this Honourable House adopts a report of the Committee on Energy on the annual statement by the Audit Committee report of the Volta River Authority for the year 2024. Mr. Speaker, I will submit the report and request that the Hansa Department will cover the entirety of the report as being read, as I read only the conclusion since there's no time. Mr. Speaker, the committee is satisfied that the statement has been prepared and presented to Parliament in accordance with the Public Financial Management Act 2016 at 921 and Audit Committee guidance for 2023. The committee recommends to the House to adopt this report on the annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Volta River Authority for the year 2025. I so submitted. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honourable Abuaje. Abuaje, hold on, let me. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I respectfully, since we have a lot of motions to be taken, I'll plead with the House that we can do 1-1 so that will not waste too much time. Even the economic committee to want to take their motion. So the contributors, we can do 1-1 on every motion. This has nothing to do with leadership.
Yes, Honorable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know where Honorable Achampong is coming from, because for you to be on your feet to make such statement, you should engage. When you get engaged and we have that's not how it's been done. So, Mr. Speaker, he is completely out of order.
Yes, Honorable Abuaje, can you second the motion for us?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I second the motion, but in doing so, Mr. Speaker, as for VRA, I think we were satisfied with much of their work, but our issue was with the fire that happens at their end. We will find out that during the fire incident, there was not enough fire tender at their premises. So they were able to inform us that they've put things in place. Going forward, that will not happen again. But I will urge the government to make sure that all electrical installations in this country has a proper fire tender in place, so that we will not see what occurred at VRA, between VRA and Gridco again. In doing so, Mr. Speaker, I urge this House to adopt this report for the annual statement of the Audit Committee of the Volta River Authority for the year 2024. Thank you.
Honorable members, the motion which was moved by the chairman has been seconded by the ranking. It is now before all of us for consideration. Yes, my brother.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the motion number 22 in today's order paper. Mr. Speaker, the meeting with VRA indicated that VRA's performance has been was satisfactory. However, one key audit finding, which is the separation between VRA and Gridco, was thoroughly discussed. Mr. Speaker, the committee observed that although VRA had made progress in completing the separation and transfer of assets to Gridco, the rebanding of the two entities, the formal transfer and documentation of some properties, particularly in the NEDCO operational area, remains outstanding. The committee noted that the delays in completing the asset transfer process could create uncertainty regarding ownership and asset accountability. The committee therefore recommended that management expedite action in the outstanding legal administrative process relating to the separation of the two organizations. Mr. Speaker, in all, we all know that VRA is foundational to the nation's socio-economic development, driving economic transformation through reliable electricity generation, power export to the neighboring countries, and environmental stewardship. It is foundational to national energy security and stability. On the basis of above, I appeal to the House to adopt this report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll take the last one from Honorable Zbama. My brother, can you put off the microphone for me? Yes, thank you.
Most grateful, Mr. Speaker. I rise to comment on the report of the Committee of Energy on the annual report or annual statement of the Audit Committee of VRA for the year 2024. Mr. Speaker, one clear issue that came out of the report at paragraph 5.1 speaks to outstanding receivables and debt recovery by the Volta Health Services Limited. It is instructive to note that they had an outstanding bill of about 24 million, which took a lot of time for them to be able to collect the amount up to about 2.8 million. The challenge is how did the authority accumulate that number of outstanding debt? It is important that they strengthen their debt collection mechanism or they reduce the piling of debt, because these are money, if available to the organization or the authority, it will go a long way in improving their service conditions. Mr. Speaker, similarly under paragraph 5.3, concerning unsupported receivables exceeding credit period under Akosumbo Hotels Limited, the report is indicating that about sum of 121,000 was also outstanding from their books. And the committee was informed that Akosumbo Hotel have significantly again reduced the receivables to a paltry 2,800. It's all about improving on our debt collection mechanisms. With this, Mr. Speaker, I believe VRA has shown that they have the capacity to run our energy sector, and they are doing that commendably. We commend the leadership of VRA, and I ask and urge this House to adopt this committee. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable, you are a member of the committee, eh?
Speaker, I'm a friend to the committee.
A friend to the committee.
That is so.
Very
Thank
well.
you.
Thank
And the
you.
benevolence of the chairman. And the
Thank you. Honorable members, at the conclusion of the debate, the question is all those in favor that motion listed 22 in today's order paper be adopted, say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion is carried. Are we taking 23?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you want to make application for me? Okay.
Yes, Champon.
Mr. Speaker, we have 54, motion number 54. That one is 2024. So we need to take it first before we come to take that of the 2025. 23, 24 is 2024 report. So I want to first take 2024 before 2025.
Mr. Speaker, we don't have copies of the report on the Tema Oil Refinery. That is motion number 54. So I don't know, Deputy Whip, if you can talk to the chairman, we can do the others whilst we look for the report of the motion 54.
Mr. Speaker, it is rather motion item 55. If you permit us, we'll take the motion 24 and then 55, since we have the 2024 and 2025. In fact, it flows together. And so, with the indulgence of the House, we'll take the two separate reports, but we'll take it together.
But Chairman, I think the application Honorable Champon made was just to allow the House to follow. If the 2024 one has not been done and we are now doing 2025, it's a better. So he wanted us to follow sequentially. So I think what he's saying is right. But I think the report is loaded on the console. Is that all right? It's loaded.
Mr. Speaker, we don't have a problem with motion 55 and 24. We have the report. It was the case that the 54 that we didn't have, but 55, which is the Ghana Gas, that's 2024, and 24, which is the same Ghana Gas, 2025. So the proposal from the chairman, it wouldn't be bad if he present the 2024 as suggested by the Deputy Whip. Then you move to the 2025, and then we can follow it through that way. I don't think it's a problem.
Very well. So the way we will present it to make things movable. So let's hear you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move the motion number 55 on today's order paper. 55 on today's order paper on page 16, that this House, Honorable House, adopts the report of the Committee on Energy on annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Ghana National Gas Company for the year 2024. Mr. Speaker, as I moved, I also present your committee's report for the same year. Mr. Speaker, I would ask that the Hansa Department will capture the entirety of the report as being read, as I read only the conclusion. Mr. Speaker, the committee recognized the efforts made by Ghana Gas Limited Company to address the identified deficiencies and improve operational and governance structures. The committee encourages the company to pursue the implementation of the outstanding recommendations. The committee, in view of the foregoing, recommends to the House to adopt this report or the annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Ghana National Gas Limited Company for the period January to December 2024. I so submit.
Thank you so much. Honorable Ajibwaje.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion for the audit report for Ghana Gas. Mr. Speaker, at the committee level, we find out some minor issues with Ghana Gas, and they were able to explain it. But what other thing was, they bought a plant where they have a property, plant, and equipment that has remained fixed. The asset has been devalued, but it has not been fixed all this while. So they were able to explain to us that it's not that they don't want to use it, but it's because when the need comes before they will be able to use it. So, Mr. Speaker, the other things were just minor issues, which they were able to explain themselves, and it was resolved at the committee level. So, in so doing, I urge this House to adopt the report for the annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Ghana National Gas Company Limited for the year ended 31st December 2024 and then 2025. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honourable members. The motion listed 55 has been moved by the chairman, and the ranking has graciously also seconded the motion. It is now before the House for consideration.
Sorry, you can.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion number 24 on page 10 of today's order paper.
It's 55,
page
please.
55. I rise to support the motion number 55. Yes, the 2024. During the meeting, some issues were observed, and one key findings has to do with procurement and contract management deficiencies. The audit committee reviewed the audit report concerns relating to procurement processes, including inadequate procurement planning, incomplete contract files, delayed contract performance, and insufficient documentation of justification for certain procurement methods. The committee observed that some contracts lack complete supporting documents, such as delivery confirmations, performance certifications, or evidence of competitive processes. The committee stressed that adherence to procurement laws is essential to ensuring value for money, operational efficiency, and reduce exposure to penalties. Mr. Speaker, apart from this finding, generally the performance was very good, and we all know the importance of Ghana Gas to this economy. Ghana Gas currently supplies 84% of the fuel consumed by Ghana's thermal plants. This drastically reduces the country's reliance on expensive fuel imports, saving an estimated $1.3 billion annually. On the basis of this, Mr. Speaker, I urge the House to accept this report. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Ajibwaje.
Most grateful, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second this motion to adopt the audit report of Ghana Gas for the year 2024. Mr. Speaker, The report indicates a lot of internal control weaknesses, and that is the reason why we do audit, so that when these are revealed and comes to light, the institutions are able to correct them. Issues around internal controls and operational systems, we had procurement and documentation weaknesses amongst others. Fortunately, when the management of Ghana Gas appeared before the committee, they had taken a lot of steps to address most of the inefficiencies and the challenges. And the committee actually imposed on them that we wouldn't want to see a repetition of these things come the year 2025. And I'm sure that as we review the audit report for 2025 to 2026, we would have seen a lot of significant recommendations being implemented by Ghana Gas. All that we're seeking to do as a house, which is this parliament, is to strengthen state institutions to be efficient in the way they do their things. Ghana Gas has come to stay. Ghana Gas provides an essential service to our energy sector and our energy delivery system. And it is important that as a house we support them. All that we urge the agency is that they should continue to abide by the rules, by the Public Financial Management Act, so that we don't see a lot of these infractions coming again. With these few words, Mr. Speaker, I want to comment for this House to adopt this particular motion. I thank you.
Honourable members, at the conclusion of the debate, the question is, all those in favour that motion listed 55 be adopted, say aye. All those against, say no. Honourable members, it's obvious the ayes have it. The motion listed 55 is carried. Yes, Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move the procedural motion, item 23, on today's order paper, page 10.
Item
23 for the 2025.
Very well, very well.
I so move.
Yes, Honourable Abuaje.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, motion 23 is procedural, and it has been moved by the chairman and seconded by the ranking. I will indulge you to put the question since it's just a procedural. And the question is, all those in favor that motion 23 be adopted, say aye. All those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Motion listed 23 is carried. Now, Chairman, let's take the 24.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move motion item 24 on today's order paper, page 10, that this Honourable House adopts the report of the Committee on Energy on the annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Ghana National Gas Limited Company for the year 2025. Mr. Speaker, as I move the motion, I also submit your committee's report and request that the Hansa Department will capture the entirety of the report as being read as I read the conclusion part. Mr. Speaker, the committee acknowledges the efforts of management of the Ghana National Gas Company Limited to address the issues raised and implement corrective measures to strengthen the company's operational efficiency, financial management, and governance systems. The efforts may need to be sustained to ensure that all outstanding issues are fully and successfully resolved. The committee accordingly recommends to the House to adopt this report on the annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Ghana National Gas Company Limited for the year ended 31st December 2025. I so submit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Abuaje.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I've already stated in the 2020 report of the Ghana Gas, the Speaker, all were minor issues, but they've taken steps to address them. With the issue of inaccurate exchange rates that apply to foreign currency transactions, we're able to inform them that moving forward, they should ensure that contractual negotiations with suppliers accurately reflect the official Bank of Ghana exchange rate to help prevent the anomalies that normally occur on the exchange rate issues. Aside that, Mr. Speaker, everything on the Ghana gas was, it's okay. So I'll urge this House to adopt this report on the annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Ghana National Gas Company Limited for the year ended 31st December 2025. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the motion which was moved by the chairman has been seconded by the ranking. It is now before the House for consideration.
We should stop.
Yeah, let me take one. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the motion number 24 on page 10 of today's order paper. Mr. Speaker, it's important to know that most of the issues raised in the 2024 report were corrected by the year-end 2025. One issue came up, and that was faulty equipment in the warehouse that was not fixed for a long time. Mr. Speaker, we advise that this should be fixed and then reported back to us. On the whole, the committee acknowledges the efforts of management of the Ghana National Gas Limited to address issues raised and implement corrective measures to strengthen the company's operational efficiency, financial management, and governance systems. The efforts need to be sustained to ensure that all outstanding issues are fully and successfully resolved. The committee accordingly recommends to the House to adopt this report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes. Let me give it to Honorable Collins.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. The issues with Ghana Gas with their 2025 audit reports are very simple. Fortunately, most of the irregularities that were discovered in 2024 were rectified in the 2025 report. And so when we met them, close to about 95% of all the issues that had come up earlier on had been taken care of. So I would like to commend Ghana Gas for heeding to our counsel when they met us for the 2024 reports. I think one of the major issues that they brought up was the issue about they being sidelined with regards to the GPP2, where government has put together an SPV to spearhead the construction of the second gas processing plant. But apart from that, Mr. Speaker, the audit reports as received for the year 2025 was quite well prepared. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honorable members. At the conclusion of the debate, all those in favor that motion listed 24 be adopted, say aye. All those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion listed 24 in today's order paper is adopted. Yes, Chairman. Yes, Honorable Champong.
Mr. Speaker, Committee of Economy, they have a motion, the Economy Committee.
Yes.
And the ranking member has another assignment. So we've agreed that we'll take motion 33, so after that we'll come back to do energy, so that the ranking member can leave the House.
So, honorable members, respectfully come with me to page 13. Page 13, item listed 33, motion by the chairman of the Development.
Thank you,
Committee.
Mr. Speaker, for this great opportunity to move that this honorable House adopt the report of the Committee on Economy and Development on the annual public debt report for the 2025 fiscal year. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so move. By doing so, Mr. Speaker, I will plead with the Hazards Department to fully capture the entire report as having been read fully. I will just go through the introduction, skip the background, outline the committee's observations and reports, and the observation and recommendations.
Chairman.
And finally...
Chairman, have you distributed the reports?
Yes, right now, Speaker.
Is it on the console?
Speaker, we have enough copies to give it to honorable members.
Well, I'm told it has been on the console for a couple of days, and because we're not taking, they took it off. So we are asking that they reload it whilst the report is being, the chairman is moving the motion. Yes, so chairman can go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, in fulfillment of the requirement of Section 72 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 921, as amended, the annual public debt report of the 2025 financial year was laid in Parliament on Tuesday, 26 May 2026, by the Honorable Minister for Finance, Dr. Keso Atuban-Forson. The report was referred by the Right Honorable Speaker to the Committee on Economy and Development for consideration and report. Mr. Speaker, the committee made this observation, but for the sake of time, I'll move to the conclusion. Mr. Speaker, in concluding, having critically examined the report, the committee concludes that the annual public debt report for the 2025 financial year represents significant progress made in restoring debt sustainability and macroeconomic stability. The committee observes improvement in key economic indicators, including lower inflation, stronger economic growth, improved fiscal performance, exchange rate stability, increased international reserves, and enhanced investor confidence following the successful implementation of the debt restructuring program. Mr. Speaker, accordingly, the committee recommends that Parliament adopt 2025 annual public debt report and urges the government to continue implementing measures aimed at ensuring long-term debt sustainability, enhance fiscal resilience, enforce oversight of contingent liability, and reduce external economic risk. Mr. Speaker, the committee further recommends that the Minister of Finance continues to improve regular updates to Parliament on the implementation of the debt restructuring program and measures being undertaken to maintain a sustainable public debt trajectory. Mr. Speaker, the committee therefore recommends the Minister for Finance fulfilling its statutory obligations under the Section 72 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 921, as amended, and accordingly
Honorable
urges
Afo,
the
can
House
you move to the conclusion?
adopt this report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, thank you. So, honorable members, the chairman has moved the motion. Let me now revert to the ranking.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to comment on this report. And Mr. Speaker, I think that the leadership on the majority side should give my chairman some more room to express himself. There are a lot of things in the report he wants to talk about. Mr. Speaker, I have 4 quick comments from this side as I second this motion. First is the fact that this debt management report we are looking at focuses primarily on debt to GDP ratio as a basis for analyzing our debt. And Mr. Speaker, in the report, it suggests that debt to GDP ratio is reduced from about 61% to about 44%, which is a good thing. And it states that the reason primarily is the appreciation of the cedi in the year 2025. Mr. Speaker, it does not account for the fact that the MPP government negotiated about $5 billion of debt cancellation and another about $4 billion savings in cash flows on our debt stock. This is a very major reason for which we are seeing these good numbers, dropping from 61 to 44. And I think it's important that credit is given where credit is due. That was about 98% of the debt restructuring program. And Mr. Speaker, the second argument I want to make is that the debt sustainability analysis approach that is adopted in Ghana's debt management report, and it's not about the NDC, the approach that is used is a bit inadequate because it focuses primarily, as I mentioned, on the debt to GDP ratio. But nobody pays their debt to their GDP. Mr. Speaker, we should rather be spending some more time analyzing our revenue to debt servicing ratio, because you really pay your debt with your revenue. Or on the external debt side, looking more at our export earnings and comparing it to our debt servicing. Or perhaps even comparing debt servicing to tax revenue generally. And so as we move forward as a republic, Mr. Speaker, it's important to improve the DSA approach that we use for our debt management report. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, the scope itself is a bit too narrow. You will find that contingent liabilities are not accounted for in the debt analysis we are doing. The liabilities at state-owned enterprises are not accounted for. Guarantees that are given are not accounted for. And so it gives us a very narrow view of what our debt picture is. And we always get surprised at the end of the day. Mr. Speaker, as I support my chairman's motion, a few recommendations from this side of the House. We need a broader debt sustainability analysis, as I've mentioned, a broader scope in terms of what type of debt we are talking about. And Mr. Speaker, we don't have to rely on cedi appreciation as a basis to say our debt stock has reduced. Because as you observe, in 2025, when the cedi appreciated by about 43%, as a result of the pumping that the Bank of Ghana has been doing, it appeared as though the situation was getting better. Just yesterday, when the Bank of Ghana published the new debt numbers, because of the about 8% depreciation we have seen year to date, our debt stock is gone up by about 47 billion Ghana cedis. So if you rely on appreciation to applaud yourself that the debt situation has gotten better, small depreciation, Mr. Speaker, and we are now having about a 40 billion Ghana cedis increase in our debt stock. By the way, this is apart from the nearly $1 billion that we approved for the government yesterday. For those who didn't follow yesterday we approved about $1 billion for the government. That will come and add to this. And already the IMF is predicting that we're going to end the year on about 50% to GDP. So it is important that we keep an eye on it. Very finally, Mr. Speaker, as I mentioned at the beginning, the MPP government restructured about 98% in the pool of debt that was available for restructuring. 2% was outstanding. Between January 2025 and now, we're getting to 2 years. That 2%, the government is yet to conclude the restructuring. And it is important that they finish that one so that we can see the full benefit. Because if we don't, we'll still be deceiving ourselves that our debt has gone down when it hasn't. And very finally, Mr. Speaker, the most important thing is to get the domestic resource mobilizing measures to work so that you don't have to resort to these debts to fund your programs. If they don't work, you'll be back to square one. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support the motion.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the motion which was moved by the chairman has been seconded by the ranking. It is now the property of the House. Yes, Honorable Member Evra. Yes.
Speaker, my senior colleague and I have agreed that we are taking 3 each and then 1 from leadership.
How many?
3 each and then 1 from leadership.
I beg of you, 3 is too much. We have too many reports to take.
Speaker, so what is your consideration?
I was going to 2 including leadership.
Oh, Speaker, that respectfully.
I beg of you.
We can do 2 and then 1 from leadership. Yes. It has to do with public debt. Yes, I understand. Speaker, respectfully, we can do 2-2 and then one from leadership. Thank you.
Is that okay with us?
Speaker, we agreed 3-3 and you have reviewed it. It's okay.
Well. But please, 5 minutes each table, please. Nobody should go beyond 5 minutes. Yes. Yes, Honorable Ejura.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to also contribute to motion 33 that is being discussed. Right Honorable Speaker, I believe the report on the public debt report for the year 2025, Right Speaker, is a refreshing one. And as has been announced, when we met, we had some refreshing news, Right Honorable Speaker, to understand that the country's public debt, Right Honorable Speaker, reduced from 726.8 billion in 2024 to 641.1 billion, indicates that yes, the prudent measures being implemented by the finance minister and this government is indeed yielding dividends. Because, Right Honorable Speaker, we know from the history of this country what the discussions had been initially on the rising nature of the debt of this country. And so, therefore, the indication that there has been a reduction is very much refreshing because it increases the confidence that the international body has in the economy of Ghana. On page 7, with regards to the credit ratings, Right, Honorable Speaker, it is clear and worth celebrating that a international rating organization such as Fitch has upgraded Ghana's rating from a restricted D, which is RD, a restricted default of RD to B- with a stable outlook. And Moody's, Honorable Speaker, has also improved in its ratings. Moody's Investor Service upgraded the country's rating from CAA2 to CAA1. And lastly, S&P Global's rating also increased Ghana's one from SD, which is select default, to CCC+. This is refreshing because it boosts confidence in the economy of Ghana. Honorable Speaker, it is also worth commending that this government didn't relegate the implementation of the debt restructuring program. It indicates that we inherited an economy, and no matter the program, we're bent on focusing and ensuring that it yields dividends, and that is worth commending. The report, in sum, Honorable Speaker, has indicated a macroeconomic stability. We made mention of inflation being improved, and the reserve of this country also gaining grounds. From the report on paragraph 454.2, Ghana's cedi appreciated also by 40.7%. And on the reserve, it is refreshing also to understand and to learn from the reports that our gross international reserve increased from 9.1 billion, that is 4.1 months of import cover, to 13.8 billion, which makes up 5.7 months of import cover. It aids planning, and also dealings with the international organizations such as the World Bank and IMF and others. So, Honorable Speaker, in sum, I believe that is refreshing. We must commend the Ministry of Finance, the Governor of Bank of Ghana, and all the measures, fiscal measures being put in place to ensure that we do not derail, but economically we make gains to ensure that we progress as a country. Thank you for the opportunity, and I call on the House to adopt this motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yes. Honorable Azebwama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on this your Committee on Economy and Development on the annual public debt report for 2025 financial year. Mr. Speaker, it is right that when it comes to public debt position, it is very critical for our national economic stability. Mr. Speaker, Section 72 of the PFMA Act is what mandates your committee or the Ministry of Finance to present this public debt position for our consideration. In the year 2025, Mr. Speaker, the report is indicating varied reasons upon which our debt stock has reduced. But importantly, the reduction in the debt stock, the conversation is whether it is sustainable or there are other measures that we need to put in place to ensure that it doesn't become a 9-day wonder. Mr. Speaker, let me refer you to paragraph 5.2, speaking to the implementation of the debt restructuring program that laid the foundation for us to be where we are today in terms of the debt stock. The committee reports that the committee noted the significant progress that was struck as a result of the implementation of the debt restructuring program, which was launched in December 2022. Mr. Speaker, many a times in this House, we talk about economic stability, we talk about our debt stock going down, but we fail to acknowledge the foundation upon which the achievements have been built upon. So if we don't become magnanimous with efforts that others have put in place to put this country where we are, then at the end of the day, we are being disingenuous to the good people of Ghana. So credit should go to the governance of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, who spearheaded the restructuring of the debt program that has given us the stability in this area that we're talking about. Mr. Speaker, a key component of our debt stock sustainability is our revenue mobilization. The report indicates the challenges the government faces in revenue mobilization. Under paragraph 5.3, we have it here that the committee observed that although the economy recorded strong macroeconomic recovery in 2025, revenue mobilization challenges persisted. The total revenue and grants reduced, representing 50% of GDP, fell short of revised target by about 5.1 billion. Mr. Speaker, if we are not very careful in ensuring that we strengthen our revenue mobilization base, this issue of debt sustainability will become a mirage. Government should put in place strong policies that will enhance revenue mobilization. Because if you look at this report, and this is consistent with what we are even seeing in 2026, the revenue targets that are set vis-a-vis its achievement, and this week, I'm sure by tomorrow, the Minister of Finance is coming to this House to speak to us about the mid-year budget. It is important that government strengthens revenue mobilization for the year 2026 to deal with our public debt management. Mr. Speaker, let me go to my final point, which speaks to our vulnerability to external economic shocks. The committee observed under 5.6.1 that despite significant improvement in our macroeconomic indicators, the economy remains vulnerable to external economic shocks. In 2025, if you check the stability of the cedi, where the cedi went down to around 10.4, 10.5, as we speak today, the cedi is trading against the US dollar in excess of 11.5, 11.6. So it means that we are still vulnerable to international shocks, economic shocks. And that tells us that the achievements that were recorded in 2025 within our public debt position is not likely to be the same if you look at it post-2025, 2026 to 2027. It all speaks to how we are managing our numbers in terms of our exchange rate, because most of the debt are foreign denominated and in dollars. And so it is important that government addresses the external vulnerabilities of this country. Mr. Speaker, without more, I agree that government is a continuum. What is being discussed today as 2025
Yes. Yes. Yes, Honorable Dr.
Mr.
Amor.
Speaker, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, in any serious economic jurisdiction, what we are discussing, what we are commenting this morning is extremely important. And for that matter, it has to be given the needed attention by all relevant stakeholders. Mr. Speaker, we always seem to demonstrate just a cliche, depending on where one is, whether in opposition or in government. I think for once, we need to take this debt to our GDP management very serious and do proper discussions in a context that we can find a long-lasting solution to its problems. Mr. Speaker, it is true that our debt to GDP has been drastically reduced. But then, one cannot talk about it without considering the background and what we have to do as a country. Whether we accept it or not, it is true and it is a fact that a few years back, the whole world was hit with economic crisis. And that plunged the globe and Ghana into a situation where productivity and market activities were impaired. That for the first time in the history of this country, civil servants and public servants were asked to stay home, but they were paid. Private sector had to sack over 40,000 workers. Payee corporate taxes were highly reduced to the extent that we had revenue shortfall of about 12 billion. Mr. Speaker, our main financing arms include debt financing and revenue. So government inevitably had to rely profoundly on that financing. And because we had market impaired and productivity impaired, our GDP was not growing, but we're financing using debt. So our debt to GDP went to over 80%. But this is where the love story begins. The then government, as prudent as it was able to manage the economy to the extent that by the time our brothers took over this economy, our debt to GDP had reduced to about 61.8. Honorable, please, when we are talking, I kept quiet. Mr. Speaker, this statement I'm making, you are suffering from unconscious incompetence. Take your time. Mr. Speaker, this comment I'm making, please, Mr. Speaker, can we control the House, please? This comment I'm making was a statement emphatically made by Dr. Atuforsin in his first personal budget statement in this House. Go and check. It's not my statement. Inflation rate has been reduced from 54.1 to 22.9. GDP from about 0.4 or 0.5 when the world grew negative 3.3, had grown to 5.6 before they took over, higher than 2016. So, Mr. Speaker, we need to put these background or issues in the right context because we talk about that to GDP where we are today. I will not run away from the fact that Dr. Atuforsin's tenure, they've been able to continue that good work and stabilize the economy. That I will not run away from that. But there is this issue to consider. Resilience is an issue. Going forward, we've not done anything to show that when there's similar crisis, we are not even going to get worse results than MPP government even was able to do. Two, Mr. Speaker, translation of this into secondary macro performance as a country, we don't see anything. Now they want to even borrow to pay free SHS. Now they want to borrow
to do things that will not earn us any sustainable resource. Mr. Speaker, they are talking about 24-hour economy. They are talking about big push. The last time I checked, big push was in the collect. Go and check. They push it. There's nothing, no resource. They don't even.
Thank you. Thank you. Why?
Nobody should stop. If this is what they want to do. No, you speak.
Ah.
Speaker. No. Say he's coming to speak. He's coming to speak.
Ah.
If they will not be tolerant and listen at the food, they will not be.
No. No. Honorable members, Honorable Dr. Stephen Amoa. Honorable Dr. Stephen Amoa. Please. What interjection? No. Honorable member for Boston from why? Honorable member for Brekum, please. I'm personally taken aback because I didn't see anything that you warrant this. Oh. Honorable member for Brekum. Honorable leaders, indulge me to acknowledge another school at the public gallery. We have Busia Institute of Rural and Democratic Development. Busia Institute of Rural and Democratic Development. Their leader is Dr. Anania Jane, who is the executive director, and the school, Honorable Doctor, and the school is located in the Okaikwe North constituency. I'm told you are 25 in number. Lastly, but not the least, we have the Police Model Basic School. Police Model Basic School. Their leader is Maswell Akrasi Sapong, who is a teacher, and the school is located in the Dome Kwabenya constituency. I understand your number is 66. On behalf of the House, we welcome you and we wish you a pleasant stay in Parliament. Thank you very much. So, honorable members, you take the leadership. Yes.
Speaker, respectfully, I will yield to Honorable Kabiru. But Speaker, let me just make this general call that as members of Parliament, we respectfully have to indulge and accommodate each other when we are given opportunities to talk. Sometimes when we talk across, it triggers other emotions and we end up saying all manner of things. I'm taking this opportunity to pray with my colleagues from whichever divide that we should learn to listen in quietude, and that if you have any reason to counter, we can do so. And we are in opposition, we understand so. If there is this platform, we can be causing more problems. It's not supposed to be like that. respectfully, I'm calling on all of us. Speaker, you can see this is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. There is no time I would see anybody from the front bench, and I'll be doing this. So, Speaker, I'm calling upon once again calling upon my colleagues that we should respect ourselves. We should try and respect ourselves. If we have any attitudes we should try and leave them outside. And when we come here, we come and behave very well and go back home safely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This is a very important call, and we are all colleagues. And I always say we have to be tolerant. At times, it's just a matter of trying to pull one's, but please, let's know the level that we'll be traveling to. So once again, Honorable Jali, your call is in the right direction. I thank you so much. Yes, so you said you are yielding to Honorable Kabilo. Yes, Honorable Kabilo. Honorable Seka. No, we term it, and now. Oh, I beg you. Yes. Yes, Honorable Kabilo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I take the privilege to make one or two comments on the report for the year 2025 covering Ghana debt stock. Mr. Speaker, the report has drawn our attention to the fact that in nominal terms, our debt stock is around 641.1 billion Ghana cedis, which is about 61.3 billion. And Mr. Speaker, what is important is to note that, which other speakers have stated, the reasons for the reduction in the debt stock. Mr. Speaker, out of the three reasons that have been stated in the report, the first reason is the appreciation of the cedi. The second reason is the debt exchange or debt restructuring program. And the third reason is fiscal consolidation. These are the three reasons that we have been told in this report is accounting for the reduction in the debt stock and bringing our debt to GDP to some 44% of percent. Mr. Speaker, we need to put on record that behind this particular number, the details, we must put on record that for the year under review, the government has borrowed 89.9 billion. 84.9 billion is what the government borrowed for the year under review. And if you doubt it, go back to the report by the Minister of Finance that talks to our debt reporting, the Minister of Finance report, that is the Public Debt Statistic Bulletin. You would get the figure that I'm referring to. So for the year under review, 84.7 billion was borrowed. Also, Mr. Speaker, we need to also know that the year under review, there was debt servicing. And the debt servicing for that year was 77 billion. So in effect, Mr. Speaker, for the year under review, there was a net borrowing from the report, from the government own report. Mr. Speaker, but that is not even the issue. If you look at the domestic, debt is divided into two, the domestic debt and the external debt. Mr. Speaker, external debt is the only place or is the only handle that we are having some respite. When it comes to the domestic debt, the government continues to borrow and borrow and borrow every single day, Mr. Speaker. And that should be worrying, because if you continue to borrow and you max the borrowing by the appreciation of your cedi, you will get into difficulty in the event of a crisis. In the event we have a cedi or a currency crisis, you will get into difficulty. And that's the point our ranking member stated, that if your only remedy, if your only solution, if your only way you are managing the debt stock is because there's an appreciation of a currency, which is due to a confluence of several factors, Mr. Speaker, in the event of currency crisis, this country will find itself in difficulty. And we are urging the Minister responsible for finance that we should not be anchoring our debt to GDP on the fact that our cedi is appreciating, because in either event, a currency crisis can lead us to a difficult situation that we find ourselves before the debt exchange program. Mr. Speaker, the next issue that this report has drawn our attention to, which I need to highlight, of course, the previous government took the fall. Even in this House, we've had speakers upon speakers blaming the then government for the debt exchange program or the restructuring of the debt. Mr. Speaker, in this report, the government is commending itself, the government is praising itself, and we are being told to accept that story as a true state of affairs, that we are having some good numbers because there was a debt restructuring program. Mr. Speaker, we all know the politics they made with the debt restructuring program. Now, as I've always argued, the results of such a program is now the cornerstone of their economic success. And that is the irony in this whole discourse, that the thing that you bastardize is now the cornerstone of your macroeconomic stability, is the cornerstone of the good thing that you think you are now doing. Mr. Speaker, the last issue that I want to handle is the issue of revenue mobilization. The report has highlighted the failure of government to meet its revenue. Mr. Speaker, this is something that the Minister of Finance should come to this out and because you are doing revenue to GDP. I mean, you are doing revenue of 224.9 million Ghana cedi for the year. Mr. Speaker, this is a failure of policy, especially in revenue management, and the government must do something about revenue mobilization because we cannot continue to borrow ourselves into economic management. Borrowing that they have said is not economic management. They are continuing with the borrowing, and they have to stop them. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Am I putting the question, or you want to speak?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to contribute to your committee's reports. Mr. Speaker, many of our friends are turning to be prophets of doom. Things that have not happened is what they are talking about. But the report speaks for itself. You all seen the good news recorded in this report. We left a loan portfolio of 120 billion. By the end of the 8-year term, you move it to 748 billion Ghana cedis. Debt to GDP ratio moved to over 100%. When you were living, it was around 61%. And now it's 44.7%. And instead of praising the government, you are here saying, and then what you did is giving us all these important indicators. Mr. Speaker, it's about economic discipline. The fiscal consolidation the minister is doing, it now have a handle on the economy. When he brought commitment authorization, people were talking about it. When he set up value for money office, people were talking about it. There have been discipline in the system. And this is giving us all these positive results. And we want to spread heads over this. Commend the government. But when we took the inflation from 61%, if we are not disciplined, it will move to 100% again. Because of discipline, fiscal consolidation, that's why you are getting all these results. So don't say the DDEP that you did is creating all these positive indicators. What about those people who died? What about those people who died, the pensioners? So, Mr. Speaker, governance is continuing. We have a government which is putting in place positive measures. We have a country to run. Let's all come together and support the ministry to achieve its set goals. They are talking about revenue challenges. Today, this morning, we had a meeting with the finance minister, and the numbers are looking good. Tomorrow, you hear good news. So, we have a disciplined finance minister and a disciplined government. This is something we need to support because by the end of the day, the depreciation of the currency, all of us are benefiting. The inflation, all of us are benefiting. I thought one was going to tell me maybe the transmission mechanism is delaying, so many people are not getting the feeling of it. That one I will agree with you. So this report, keep it and let's work with it. Compare this to that of 2024-23. It tells you that the reset agenda is on course. So please, let's support this administration because by the end of the day, all of us are going to benefit. If you go to the market, it's on course. Resetting agenda is on course. What's it?
Thank you. Honorable Champo, conclude. We have so many things to
So,
do.
Mr. Speaker, if you go to the market and prices of goods and services are low, they will not ask you, are you MPP or NDC? The way you enjoy life under this administration as compared to the end of 2024. So, Mr. Speaker, the report speaks for itself, and there are positive news in this report.
Thank you.
I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Honorable members, at the conclusion of the debate, the question is, all those in favor that motion listed 33 be adopted, say aye. All those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. Motion listed 33 is carried. Yes, I guess we take 34 as well.
Yes.
Yes. Honorable Afo.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this Honorable House adopt the report of the Committee on Economy and Development on the conduct of monetary policy, macroeconomic review, and banking sector development. Mr. Speaker, I would therefore urge the Hansas Department once again to capture this report as having been fully read by my good self by taking the introduction and conclude. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the Bank of Ghana Amendment Act 2016, Act 918, Section 53A requires the Bank of Ghana to present half-year reports to Parliament on the conduct of activities in the exercise of its mandate at the end of February and January each year. Mr. Speaker, the report on the conduct of monetary policy, macroeconomic review, and banking sector development was laid in Parliament on Friday, 24th October 2025 by the Majority Leader, Honorable Mahama Yariga. The report was subsequently referred by the Right Honorable Speaker to the Committee on Economy and Development for consideration and report. Mr. Speaker, in concluding, Mr. Speaker, the committee has examined the report on the conduct of the monetary policy, macroeconomic review, and the banking sector development for the period January to December 2025, and has observed that the Bank of Ghana generally performed well in relation to significant improvement in key macroeconomic indicators, particularly the decline in inflation, the stabilization and appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi.
Chairman, can you move to conclusion, please?
Mr. Speaker, the committee commends the Bank of Ghana for fulfilling this obligation under the Act 53A of Bank of Ghana Amendment Act 2016, Act 918, and accordingly urges the House to adopt this report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Member for Ofuansia Iribi.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity.
Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And since I will not be contributing later, I just want to make my submissions as I second. Mr. Speaker, first, it's important that we correct some misleading statements that have been made. The Deputy Chief Whip on the other side suggests that debt to GDP ratio reached 100% in years gone by. Mr. Speaker, in 2022, when it was at its peak, it was 85.7%. In 2023, it was 76.4%. In 2024, it was 70.5%. It never got to 100%. This is a house of records, and we should not be misleading the Ghanaian public or putting things in history that are inaccurate. If he has any contrary specific facts, he should state them here. But, Mr. Speaker, let me specifically second this motion to adopt the report of your committee on the Bank of Ghana's conduct of monetary policy. Mr. Speaker, the reason for which it is the Bank of Ghana that handles monetary policy is that they issue currency, and they are responsible for preserving the value of the currency. Additionally, price stability is the first of the 6 economic policy objectives that any government wants to embark upon. Speaker, it's not enough to look at a reduction of inflation from 23% to 5% now and say that that justifies the 16 billion Ghana cedi loss of the Bank of Ghana on sterilization. It's not enough. You will recall that in 2025, right here in this chamber, we argued that the method that the Bank of Ghana was using in its attempt to ace the inflation figures were dangerous. Those methods were dangerous, i.e., the excessive sterilization. At that time, it was denied. When the Bank of Ghana published their figures at the end of the year, they themselves admitted that for the first time in Ghana's history, they sterilized over 93 billion Ghana cedis from the market. Sterilization essentially means that the Bank of Ghana has mopped up the money from the system so that people don't have liquidity to execute demand. That's why today the traders are telling you in town that, yes, you may say inflation has come down, but their goods are on the shelf and people don't have money to buy. Mr. Speaker, that sterilization cost us 16 billion Ghana cedis. And the majority side has been trying to convince Ghanaians that it's the cost of stability. It is not the cost of stability. It's the cost of bad policy choices. And I'll explain to you, Mr. Speaker. In 2022, inflation was 54% as a result of high crude oil prices. Remember that Brent crude was at $128 per barrel at the time. And so inflation went up to 54%. The MPP government reduced inflation from 54 to 23% before it left office. That was a 31, listen. That was a 31% drop in inflation. We didn't spend 16 billion Ghana cedis to drop inflation by 31 points. You bring inflation down from 23 to 5, which is only 18, and you lose 16 billion. And you say that is the cost of stability. What sort of mathematics is this? What sort of economic policy is this? And so this 16 billion Ghana cedis, which they have lost, is because of poor policy choices. They paid for things they didn't need to pay for. And that is why we've lost that money. And by the way, after we started complaining, now the governor says that he's not going to use this strategy again. So all that we've been saying is right, Mr. Speaker. My second point, exchange rates. This government likes to convince itself that the cedi started appreciating when they came to office. I borrowed the words of the chief whip. We are in a community of reading men, and so we read. Read the 2024 Bank of Ghana report, which was published in 2025 under the signature of Governor Siama. Governor Siama says that the appreciation started in Q4 2024. It didn't start on your watch. Mr. Speaker, it is because the domestic gold purchase program yielded forex, which forex is being used for intervention. It is only this government that says that it has a new name for intervention called intermediation. Remember, Mr. Speaker, when we said that they were intermediating or intervening and they said intermediation, they denied initially, and at the end of the year, we found out that it has been 10 billion Ghana cedis. That's what the Bank of Ghana was coming to tell the press and the whole country, that they said they didn't want him to speak before them. But that was as of December last year. Mr. Speaker, between January and now, how much intervention has gone on? We're expecting the Minister of Finance to tell us when he comes here tomorrow. But, Mr. Speaker, we, according to the IMF, are relying on high gold prices and high gold volumes. What will happen when gold prices go back from this 5-year high where it is at now? We are living on borrowed time, Mr. Speaker. Very finally, if you look at the series of economic and financial data published by the Bank of Ghana a few days ago, before the Monetary Policy Committee meetings, $1.2 billion of our reserves is gone. $1.2 billion of our reserves is gone. Our reserves have reduced by $1.2 billion. What have you used it for? Because you have told us that you are not doing intervention and that it is proceeds from the forex market that you are pumping. So where has the $1.2 billion gone? Mr. Speaker, we're expecting that when the finance minister shows up tomorrow, he will show us where this $1.2 billion is gone. Because we cannot continue with this exercise of continuously intervening and calling it intermediation and reducing the reserves of this republic, while at the back end, we are just buying gold whose sources are questionable for this enterprise. So, Mr. Speaker, going forward, we have two recommendations. Tight monetary policy does not mean excessive sterilization. We are happy that now the governor is listening and says he will no longer do it. Mr. Speaker, secondly, that structure where they were buying gold high and selling low to get forex to pump onto the market, we are happy that the governor has announced yesterday that he will no longer be funding the gold board. That is an admission that everything we have been saying here in this chamber is true. And now he is turning away from that action. If he follows these recommendations, it will bode well for him, for the Bank of Ghana, and for the Ghanaian economy. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I support the motion.
Yes, honorable members, the motion listed 34 has been moved by the chairman and graciously seconded by the ranking. It is now the property of the House for consideration. Yes, member for Ejura.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to speak to the report on the conduct of monetary policy, macroeconomic review, and banking sector development. Mr. Speaker, the mandate of the Bank of Ghana has been clear from day one. And the mandate, Mr. Speaker, as I read, is that the primary objective of Bank of Ghana is to pursue sound monetary policies aimed at price stability and to create an enabling environment for sustainable economic growth. Mr. Speaker, against the backdrop of the doom by my colleagues, we ask, why were we in the worst situation economically as of December 2024? And we want to remind our colleagues on the other side that the 2024 elections was benched mostly on the bad economic situation we were in. Mr. Speaker, the report demonstrates a continued improvement in Ghana's macroeconomic fundamentals through, as I mentioned, sound fiscal and monetary policy consideration. Mr. Speaker, it's been accepted and confirmed that inflation decreased from 23.8 to 3.3% as at the beginning of this year. Mr. Speaker, the relative stability of the Ghana cedi also has restored confidence through businesses, investors, and the general public. Mr. Speaker, the Bank of Ghana was specific that all these policies was meant at, Mr. Speaker, stabilizing and appreciating the Ghana cedi, as I've mentioned. And that is a big deal because in Ghana, everything, Mr. Speaker, is benched on the forex rate. And when the Ghana cedi struggles against the US dollar, Mr. Speaker, it brings shiverings in the businesses of Ghanaians, be it drivers, farmers, and whatsoever it is. Mr. Speaker, the steady buildup of Ghana's gross international reserve, Mr. Speaker, has strengthened Ghana's external position and resilience against external shocks. And I must commend the Bank of Ghana. In our ambition, Mr. Speaker, even with the GANRA program, to move the reserve of this country to 15 months plus. Mr. Speaker, that is an ambitious motive, which, Mr. Speaker, is to protect this country against the international shocks. We know our over-reliance on the price of crude, for example. And Mr. Speaker, we must commend Gold Board with their support in all their doings, Mr. Speaker, and the reflection, the impact it is having on the stability of the Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, and also the aim of this government to add value to our resources, Mr. Speaker, because we've come to appreciate that exporting our minerals in their raw forms, Mr. Speaker, indicates our export of jobs and opportunities.
Honourable member, I will cede the seat to the right honourable speaker. So you may continue.
Mr. Speaker, we must note, and this is instructive to note, Mr. Speaker, that a stable macroeconomic environment is essential for attracting investment, for promoting industrialization and creating sustainable employment. And so, Mr. Speaker, another point worth noting notices the access to credit for productive sectors. Mr. Speaker, we all know the role of the agri sector when it comes to the economy of this country. But the committee observed that, Mr. Speaker, allocations made to the agriculture sector is very much on the minimum. And to address this bottleneck, Mr. Speaker, the Bank of Ghana intends to promote long-term financing through the capital market and encourage banks to list stock exchange in order to mobilize long-term credit to farmers. Mr. Speaker, if the farming sector, the agriculture sector of this country is solid, Mr. Speaker, we can be assured that the economic situation will improve. So, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I wish to call on both sides to adopt this report in the fullest of spirit and with all the blessings it deserves. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity.
Yes, honourable members, before I continue, I don't know whether you've given yourself some time allocation or just free, open. Sorry?
Mr. Speaker, the arrangement was he will be the last to speak on this motion, and then we can put the question.
So how many have spoken on each side of the House?
Mr. Speaker, the chairman of the committee, after that, then the ranking, and then one from that side, and then one from this side, and then that's it.
Okay. All right. Please.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have before us today report of the Committee on Economy and Development on the conduct of monetary policy and macroeconomic review for the year 2025. Mr. Speaker, the report on page 4 has made certain observations, and that first observation that I will comment on is the stabilization and appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the report has drawn our attention to the fact, and of course, it's right, especially when you review the economic literature from the Bank of Ghana, you will realize that the cedi had appreciated for the year under review by some 40 percentage point. That is a 40% appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi on paper is good, Mr. Speaker, and it is ideal, especially so when you are having a currency that is running away from the handles by the economic managers. But, Mr. Speaker, there is the cause of this particular appreciation of the cedi that we have not often we don't discuss in this chamber, often because of the politics associated with the number. Mr. Speaker, a 40% appreciation of our currency is good on the books. But when you go to the market, you realize that the food glut we are having is because of this 40% increase in appreciation. If you go to Kantomato and there's pressure, and they are saying that the town is hot, it is because of this 40% increase in the appreciation of the cedi. Mr. Speaker, why do we consider this 40% appreciation of the cedi as something not good in terms of economic management? Mr. Speaker, it is not good because when you want to arrest the depreciation of your cedi, you must have a way of doing it gradually, in a manner that the transmission, in terms of the effect to the Ghanaian citizen, is minimal. But you cannot abruptly. For instance, it's like driving a car, Mr. Speaker. When you are driving a manual car, before you can come to a stop, the car in his 5th gear must be brought to a 2nd gear, to a 3rd gear, to the 2nd gear, before you get to the 1st gear, before it can stop. Mr. Speaker, when you abruptly bring a car from the 5th gear to the 1st gear, if you don't take time, the car will ground. And that is what we are experiencing. Mr. Speaker, they make so much noise about the 40% appreciation of the currency.
Please, please, honourable members, let's listen to him. I don't think what he said is wrong, that if you are driving at high speed and you want to bring the vehicle to stop, you have to reduce the distance. You don't go sudden. I mean, it will topple the car. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that statement. It's a fair comment. So please, you go on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for your wisdom. Mr. Speaker, that is the problem with that particular strategy. And on the books, it is good. But when you see the market women complaining, it is basically because of that strategy. Mr. Speaker, the cause of that particular strategy is also the revenue non-performance we are having at the port. If you artificially prop up your currency and you are getting money in dollars, if you change it to Ghanaian cedi, in exchange term, it's going to be lower. So one of the reasons why we are having non-performance of our revenue is because of the artificial propping out of the cedi. So these are the cost of the appreciation of the currency that we are experiencing. And that story has to be told, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the next other point that I want to touch on is the reserve position. Mr. Speaker, they are saying that our reserves have increased as at October 2025, but they are failing to report that our reserve has reduced as of now. You see, we have 5.7 months of import cover, as at the time they were reporting, but today we have 5 months of import cover. And that has to be reflected in your report because you cannot choose and pick. You cannot choose and pick. They are saying they are not considering, but let me refer them to the same report. You are not considering that, but in inflation, you have reported as at early 2026. So you cannot tell me that you are not considering that by your report. You are reporting as at early 2026. So your point is not valid. You can sit down once I continue my point. Mr. Speaker, there is also the issue. There's also the issue of...
Honourable member, on that point, what was the position as at early 2026?
Speaker, the report is saying that it was noted that inflation...
I've read the report. I've read the report. You are talking about them not reflecting the reserve position as at now. And I wanted to know, as at early 2026, what was the reserve position?
Mr. Speaker, that's why I said that it is now 5 months of import cover, not 5.7 months of import cover. I reported that.
I said as at early 2026. What was the position?
Mr. Speaker, the position for the reserve, which as at early 2026 is 5 months of import cover, not 5.7 months of import cover. That's the point I made, Mr. Speaker.
No, you didn't. You didn't make it clear that way.
Oh, okay, so, Mr. Speaker, that is the point. Exactly. That's the point I'm making now.
Because you said as at now, but this now is not early 2026. And that's why I wanted you to give the early 2026.
I'm guiding, Mr. Speaker. So the point has to be made that if you are reporting for a period 2025, let's stick to the period 2025. You don't pick for a particular report or for a particular session, you report us at early 2026, and in another time you stop at 2025, and when you are asked, you say you are dealing with 2025. That's the point I was making, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the last point I would like to note is the issue of Bank of Ghana decision to, diversify or our goals holding. Mr. Speaker, the Bank of Mr. Speaker,
you see, that is why I wanted to know whether there were time allocations. And the impression, you didn't tell me.
Mr. Speaker, you are right. We didn't mention the time, but they've been timed 5 minutes. And Mr. Speaker, because of the guidance that you were giving him, if we could add him an extra 1 minute to conclude.
What is your position? Please, majority bench, they've requested for 1 additional minute.
Mr. Speaker, he's done. He's made his point.
Honorable leader, if he has been done, there will be no request.
Mr. Speaker,
once there's a request, it meant
Mr. Speaker, not done. You can give him 1 minute.
Okay, thank you so much. Please, 1 minute.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate that. Mr. Speaker, the last point I just want to talk to on the report is that the report says that we are having significant increase in gold reserve due to the domestic gold purchase program. And they are saying that this particular program has contributed to strengthening Ghana's international position and reducing dependency on foreign currency. Mr. Speaker, this is a policy they have commended. But the next paragraph has highlighted that the Bank of Ghana liquidated about 22.2 tons of our gold reserves. On one breath, you are telling us that it is contributing to the stability of our economy. And on another breath, you are selling the gold that has been accumulated under the previous government. I don't think it is something right, and we have actually litigated that already. But we must put it on record that the decision by the Bank of Ghana to sell our gold reserves of about 22.2 tons was a bad policy decision, and the government on hand side, following the introduction of the program for the gold reserve, accumulation of reserve in the country, would
Yes, we are done for the day. So we put the question. Honorable members, those in favor of the adoption of motion number 34 on the order paper, say aye. Those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion number 34 on the order paper is hereby adopted. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, we have some outstanding motions to be taken, so we'll move to page 10 of today's order paper and take motion 25, 26, and then come to page 16 and take 54.
Honorable members, before I do that, I've been told that one notice to us was not read to the House. It's dated 17th July 2026 from the President, and it deals with absence from Ghana. I'll just read it for the Hansard. It says, Right Honorable Speaker, absence from Ghana. In accordance with Article 59 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, I write to formally notify you of my intention to travel outside the country tomorrow, 18th July 2026, to Freetown, Sierra Leone, to attend the ECOWAS Mid-Year Summit, scheduled to be held on Sunday, 19th July 2026. I shall return same day. In my absence, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, shall perform my functions in accordance with Article 60, Clause 8 of the Constitution. Signed, John Dramani Mahama. Yes, so honorable members, we'll take item 25 on the order paper. Chairman of the committee.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to move the motion, procedural motion, item 25 on the order paper, page 10. I so moved.
Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Motion moved and seconded is for the consideration of the House. There being no consideration, I put the question. Those in favor of the adoption of motion number 25 on the order paper, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. Motion number 25 on the order paper is hereby adopted. The other number you mentioned is 26. Motion number 26 to be moved by the chairman of the committee.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to move motion item 26 on order paper 11, that this Honorable House adopts the report of the Committee on Energy on the annual statement by Audit Committee of the Ghana Grid Company Limited for the years 2024 and 2025. Mr. Speaker, with that, I present your committee's report and request that the Hansard Department will capture the entirety of the report as I read only in the conclusion. Mr. Speaker, the committee is satisfied that an annual statement by the Audit Committee of Gridco, Mr. Speaker, Gridco, for 2024 and 2025 have been prepared and presented to Parliament in accordance with the Public Financial Management Act 2016 at 921 and the Audit Committee Guidelines 2023. The committee, in view of the foregoing observations, recommends to the House to adopt this report on the annual statement by the Audit Committee of Ghana Grid Company Limited for the years 2024 and 2025. I so submitted. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, any seconder? Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In seconding the motion, Mr. Speaker, at the committee level, when we met GridCo, we find out that in the audit report, about 84% of their recommendations has been done, which, Mr. Speaker, aside that, the major issue was on transmission system for this country. According to them, the management were able to inform us that PURC determined technical losses threshold they have met. But, Mr. Speaker, we were not satisfied with that. I said, why can't we try and be on the international system whereby we know that this is the best practice in the international level? Why should we be only the PUI system on the transmission losses system? So, Mr. Speaker, that has become one of the major issue in the electricity tariff system, whereby due to losses, we could always, every quarter, you could see that ECG is increasing electricity tariffs. These are one of the major costs. So I said, why don't we be at the international best practice system than the PURC one, the threshold that they gave them. So aside that, Mr. Speaker, there was no any other issue on the GridCo report. So I recommend for this House to adopt the GridCo.
What did they tell you was the cause of the losses?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, it's about increasing their cables, buying the best cables, because now we have even up to 740 transmission cables.
No, you are not answering my question. What is the causes of the losses?
It's part of the cables they use to transmit power, and they are step-down generators. So they need to get the modern ones. These are some of the causes when it comes to GridCo. But when it comes to ECG, there are a lot of factors that causes the losses.
No, we are dealing with GridCo.
Yes.
Yes.
Theirs is the cable, the transmission cable.
So we are having transmission losses because they are using inferior,
obsolete cables. Yes.
Okay.
And then the step-down transformers also, they need to modernize them with the cables. These are some of the things.
Yes, Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, let me assist my ranking member. When you are transmitting current, you need cables that will carry the current to its final destination where it will be boosted by transformer. Now, currently we have 16 kVA on the eastern part of our corridor, but we need over 330 kVA that will carry the current to a destination for a transformer either to reduce it or to boost it up. And so the transmission losses came as a result of the cables that have been there for years that are not the cables that are supposed to be used. That's exactly what they told us. And they needed over 330 million USD to change some of this cable. In addition to that, we have obsolete transformers that are either to boost the current or to reduce the current. Most transformers are outdated, and we needed to replace all those transformers. And so we are having, losses as a result of that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So what they need is capital injection.
Exactly so, Mr. Speaker.
So there are no commercial losses. These are fiscal losses.
On GridCo, no. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Don't be surprised. I did my studies in the privatization of public utilities. So I know a lot about this matters. That's why I'm asking you the questions. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, yes, we have technical losses and we have commercial losses.
Yes.
I think my ranking was talking about technical losses. Commercial losses has to do with, economy. using like ECG that has commercial losses, where people are stealing, power, they are not paying for power. Those are the commercial. Tanker losses has to do with the tanker issues. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, I need more clarification from the chairman. Mr. Speaker, because Greco, if you say they don't have commercial losses, Greco operates mainly part of the northern region, but there's always the power theft that you have attributed to ECG as part of their losses. So zero commercial losses on Greco.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, just as I explained, we have the technical losses and commercial losses. Now, commercial losses has to do with either theft or, the current not reaching, even though it's being distributed from the transforming or the distributor, the consumer uses it and not pay for it. That's a commercial loss. Now, when you go to the northern part, we had NETCO as a distributor. In our part, we have ECG as a distributor. And then when you go to the free zone enclave, we have the this power enclave as the distributor. So we have 3 distributors that sells power to us. Now, in the northern part, it is the commercial lot. It goes to the NETCO, not to Greco. Greco only transmit. That's why we are saying technical losses. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, I'm happy that ECG and NETCO are paying up to date. They are paying Greco up to date. So there are no losses there. So it's only technical losses. That's what you are telling us, which I don't think is the right situation. But yes,
Mr. Speaker, one of the problems I know that had always existed was that ECG was owing Greco. ECG used to owe Greco a lot. Unless you are telling me that 2024 and 25 in this report, ECG is up to date. Because it is true that it is ECG that serves you and me, and then Greco is the one that transmits it from the producers like Akusombo and the thermal energy. Then they would transmit the whole system. But I do know that in those days, ECG used to owe them a lot. They were not able to pay. So unless they are telling us that ECG now is up to date, and so they don't have problems with that. But Mr. Speaker, I want to add to what the committee has observed, that in the eastern part of the country, there is a huge problem. Because if you take from Yendi, the substation is in Yendi, the next substation is in fact, it's even past Karachi. So we have very long transmission lines. And it has become inefficient, totally inefficient. And because of that, the people in that area are suffering when it comes to power generation because they don't get good quality power. They are really, really suffering. The last time I spoke to the minister, he said they needed around $330 million to $360 million to be able to fix that thing. Because they were looking at putting a transmission station either in Pandai, Bimbila, or Karachi so that they can short-circuit the transmission line. But Mr. Speaker, it's very long, and they lose a lot of power. And the cables that they are using are out, I won't use the word outdated, but they are not up to standard. And so when they produce power and they expect ECG to be able to get enough power to serve the people, they have problems. And it is a lot. So I will urge that we support them if there is a way out. Because in any case, they are saying that they don't lose. So they get their money back. So it's very easy. So let's do scrutinization. Let's scrutinize the money that they get. Use that money to invest and get it. Because you don't lose. They are not ECG that is losing economic because people don't want to pay. They are not NETCO that is losing because people want to pay. If NETCO is not able to collect their rates or their tariffs, but still managing to pay Greco, then Greco shouldn't have a problem investing. Greco should not have a problem investing at all because we are saying that both ECG and NETCO are paying them whatever they are supposed to pay them. So they should not have a problem investing. So they should invest properly, invest in the equipment, invest in the transmission lines, especially the transformers, the huge transformers that they need. Mr. Speaker, the last time those lines passed, I think it was 1992, 93, or 91. That was the last time that they took those lines, especially in the eastern part of the country. And Mr. Speaker, if you are talking of almost 30, 40 years ago, then your guess is as good as mine that it's not, the people in the area will not be able to get good power. And I think that we'll ask Greco to do the needful and see how they can invest. Because the report from the chairman says that they are not having any economic losses. They are only having transmission losses. But it is the transmission losses are occurring because they have old lines and they are faulty. That's why they are having that problem, nothing more, nothing less. So if they invest in good, new, and modern up-to-date lines, then they are not going to have any losses at all. So I will say that I really support what the chairman has said, that they should find a way of investing in that part of the country, and then they've invested a lot within the central part and some part of the western and then the Accra zone. But the eastern part of Ghana is, Mr. Speaker, is really terrible. It's extremely terrible. It's not good at all. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, just to correct that, between 2022 to 2024, the cash waterfall mechanism was not effective. It started from 2025, where they are able to collect some revenue from the cash waterfall mechanism. And we all heard that as at 2025, monthly, ECG was able to collect about 1.7 billion, and it was able to share according to the formula. And so when it comes to distribution of the revenue to the various institutions that comes under the cash waterfall, we do not have problem. But having said that, ECG still owes between, where we call the legacy debt. So they still owe. So if we are able to capitalize or recapitalize Gridco, then they'll be able to change those equipments and the lines. You rightly mentioned that the distance between one transmission station or transformer to another transformer is quite a distance. And when we were kids, we used to hear that electricity no get leg. It be cable wire where they carry them. So for the cable wire to carry from one point to another point, you need a cable that can sustain the current to the other point. Now, if you have a smaller cable that are not able to sustain it, then you get losses. That's why we call transmission or technical losses. So by the time it gets to Bimbila, from wherever it is, the current reduces. So we are asking for recapitalization to be able to buy bigger cables from the 16 kV to over 330 kV, so that they will be able to carry it and sustain it to get to Bimbila. That's what we are asking for. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
What is the effect of currency depreciation on the issue of commercial losses?
Mr. Speaker, the currency depreciation at the time that we you all know that the dollar was very high. The rate was higher, but so when there's a change of government and the stabilization of the CD and the CD appreciate, it affected ECG. That's what happened. That's where we have the currency losses or the losses that occur as a result of foreign currency. Thank you.
I think you have to consider that issue. Actually, I was talking about currency fluctuation, not depreciation, fluctuation. Yes. What is your response?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the currency issues, it's something that is still going on, because the institutions will give their price to buy equipment, but at Bank of Ghana rate will be a different issue. So it's costing the entities very well. This is something they complain to us that if we can do something about that, because it's something that is still persistent. It's not that it's about maybe the dollar is up in the previous government or not. Even now, it's happening. The rate they will give is different from Bank of Ghana rate. So this is what is causing a lot in the currency fluctuations for them to buy equipment outside the country. This is one issue they raise.
Well, can we get our committee Ways and Means to sit with your committee to go through these things and see how we can support GRIDCO to get, as we are talking about capital injection. There are ways and means that we can, as a house, support the executive arm to raise that capital, because without energy, you can't industrialize, you can't develop. It's a basic thing that you have to get right. Once our energy sector is still wobbling, there's no way that we can talk about developing as a nation. And you know the cost we're having. We've been middle income at the lower level for many years. And we're not seeing progress in that. So this is one of the sectors that we might pay serious attention on. That's why I'm asking the questions. Anyway, so could we go on? I thought we've done enough for me to put the question. Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. In reviewing the report, we realized there are two major issues they've talked about: transmission efficiency and debt collection. Mr. Speaker, I would like to dwell on the debt collection aspect. I know the chairman did speak about the cash flow mechanism, cash waterfall mechanism, which has helped to increase the debt payment from 20% to about 60%. But, Mr. Speaker, one thing we have to dwell on: if ECG and NEDCO is made to pay its debt, is going to help. But one thing we also did not talk about is the fact that we have companies like Valco and some mining companies that are also will have to pay their debt that we are not focusing on. Because if you can improve on the efficiency of your transmission, in Ghana we have about 70 substations that we are using. We are advocating that we should add more substations and we should improve on the aging equipment, especially in the middle corridor of our country. The equipment are aging now. But, Mr. Speaker, we will have to, without funds, even if you have government-backed...
But, Honorable Member, the companies you are talking about, do they take direct supply from GRIDCO? The VRA and the mining companies, do they get direct supply from GRIDCO?
Mr. Speaker, if they are to pay ECG and NEDCO, then of course ECG can in turn pay.
No. Please. Don't take me to ECG. This one we are discussing has nothing to do with ECG. We are talking about GRIDCO. And that's what I'm talking to you about, because you are talking about them supplying VRA and mining companies. But GRIDCO doesn't supply VRA and mining companies. It's ECG.
Mr. Speaker, the reason why I'm talking about, if ECG is able to collect its debt, then of course they will also be able to pay back through the cash flow waterfall mechanism. So
you have introduced something which is not in the report.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, the reason why I'm introduced now because we are looking at.
But you don't have that opportunity to introduce it. When we are dealing with ECG, then you can bring these issues there. Yes, please, Vice.
Mr. Speaker, let me help my colleague. VRA produce power and GRIDCO transmit it to ECG, NEDCO, Power Enclave, and then the mining companies. That is how it's being done. VRA and the IPPs, that's the independent power producers, they produce power. GRIDCO, his work is just to transmit the power to these entities that I just mentioned. That is how it's being worked.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm looking at the report here, and they say there should be improvement in debt collection. And with the debt collection, Mr. Speaker, if you realize, even with ECG, they are implementing only 20% of the the energy accounting system they talked about in just about 20% of the district, operational districts. And remember that if we are talking about two major issues, which is debt collection and transmission efficiency, that means that the bulk part of ECG's debt, if it's being paid, is supposed to be paid by certain companies, then it's very important that those customers are huge, they contribute to the huge part of ECG debt. And we are talking about recapitalization of Gridco to be able to improve on its transmission lines. So, Mr. Speaker, whilst we are looking at aging equipment, it's also very important that we look at where is the money coming from. Because if you get that money, that is when you can apply it through the cash flow waterfall mechanism to be able to make sure you pay back Gridco for it to also be able to improve on their system. So even though this is not ECG's report, it's very important that we are also more concerned because the efficiency of Gridco will be also dependent on how well ECG and NEDCO will also do. That is why I'm saying that in addition to this, don't let us avert our mind off the efficiency of debt collection from these two agencies. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, I appreciate your understanding of the situation, but I asked that question earlier on. And in this report, the issue of commercial losses doesn't arise. It's only technical losses. That is what they said. Now, the commercial losses, as we are referring to, will come from the ECG. ECG.
Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I'm not referring to commercial losses. I'm also looking at, it talks about 5.4 is talking about improvement in debt collection. And that is why I'm
debt collection by Gridco?
Yeah, improvement. If you look at the report, what the chairman spoke about, they talk about there's supposed to be improvement in debt collection. So that is why I'm talking about those that owes ECG. Because
anyway, let's move on because there are a lot of other unanswered issues when you are dealing with the energy sector. But because we are not dealing with ECG, we are dealing with Gridco. I want us to restrict ourselves to the Gridco. When we get to ECG, then some of these issues will come up. And that is why I was looking at the issue of the currency fluctuations and their impact on commercial losses. That is why I raised that issue. Anyway, yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, I think the honorable member was just saying that I think the report mentioned the service provider, NEDCO and ECG, being unable to collect their maximum.
That is not the area for this report.
I know, Mr. Speaker.
They just refer to it. But
yes,
it
but,
not
but
be,
Mr. Speaker, but because they refer to it.
No, it's not a subject of debate. Let's move on.
Mr. Speaker, you operated from here and you operated from here. So you know how this
things are. I know both. I know.
Yes. So
I know both.
As long as the chairman found a sentence in it, the honorable member will take advantage and speak to it.
I know. But you realize that they didn't complete their sentence.
Okay.
We just mentioned debt. But they didn't go to the extent of identifying ECG or whatever. They just let it at that. So I don't want us to go too far. But there are a lot of things that I think the House should assist the energy sector to smoothing out. Because I have an issue with the tariff structure. And the PURC and others should be brought in. And please, ranking member, you should be listening to me. So that when you meet, you discuss it. The tariff structure in this country is rather upside down. And something that you should get all stakeholders to sit down to understand and to agree. We have to reverse it. We have to reverse it to encourage the industrial sector to grow. We are rather putting too much of the burden on the industrial sector. And we have given so much room for wastage. We should be able to at least sit together and get that one ironed out. I'm aware of it, and I think that it's not working well for the country. We can't keep on accumulating debts and debts and debts and taxing people who don't know that they are being taxed more because they are wasting some things. If their attention was drawn to how to utilize energy or how to utilize water prudently, there will be no need for them to pay that much tax. But their attention is not drawn. And so you can leave your house the whole day and then your air conditioning is on. And so you come and the bill is high because your bill has been so subsidized that you don't even feel the pinch. Or when you go to brush your teeth, you open the tap and it's flowing. You waste all that water. At the end of the day, they give you a bill and you complain because there's that gap which we need to get to our people, and you are the representatives. And so you should sit down and get these things ironed out. If you explain to the people properly, we can conserve a lot, we can reduce a lot of wastage, and then we can better utilize the resources by subsidizing the industrial sector so that they can produce and at cheaper prices. The same consumer will benefit from those cheaper prices. And then we can be competitive internationally instead of what is happening now. Because as you said, when we were young, we were told electricity no get legs. It's what? Cable wire. And there was a company that was producing the cable wire. If we are able to save and invest in that company, they will produce that quality cable wire. And you don't need to import the cable wire again. And so we need to sit down as stakeholders and work this and get the consumers on board. Anyway, with this, I put the question. Those in favor of the adoption of the motion, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion is accordingly adopted. Motion number 27.
Mr. Speaker, motion number 54.
54.
Yeah.
Honorable members, motion number 54 on the order paper. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move the motion that this Honorable House adopts the reports of the Committee on Energy on an annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Tema Oil Refinery for the year 2024. Mr. Speaker, having moved the motion, I so submit your committee's report and request that the Hansa Department will record all whatever we have here as being read, and I will read only the concluding part. Mr. Speaker, the committee is satisfied that the statement has been prepared and presented to Parliament in accordance with the Public Financial Management Act 2016 at 921 and the Audit Committee Guidelines 2023. The committee recommends to the House to adopt this report on the annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Oil Refinery for the year 2024. Respectfully submitted, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion. In seconding the motion, Mr. Speaker, the committee also observed that Petroleum Hub Development Authority outsourced to a private entity which pay their salaries, and their payroll doesn't go through the normal internal audit validation before payments are being done. So that was in 2024 and 2025. That was what was happening at Petroleum Hub. But they were able to inform us that they've sought that anomaly. So going forward, that will not happen. But we find out that executive instrument has not been issued for the land that they are acquiring at Jomoro for them to start their operations. And then also Ministry of Finance. Mr. Speaker, sorry, Mr. Speaker, because he told me we are going, the next one is Petroleum Hub. Okay. Sorry, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with the Tama Oil Refinery, Mr. Speaker, for quite some time, their audit was not done, but we are happy that when they met us, they were able to inform us that now they've been able to audit all their previous accounts, and then now they are able to start something that's technical and then operational challenges that they were having at their place. They've been able to overcome some of them, and then which now they are starting to start refinery. But I asked them that why don't they get the fuel from, that's the Jubilee field. We have 3 fields that produce oil in this country. Why can't they get oil from there to produce? But recently, I've seen it in the dailies that the government has released some of their fuel, some of the oil for them to refine. Because I was on it, that if we have such a big entity being lying down, paying workers every year, and to me, I would say they are doing nothing. Because if you are not getting the petroleum to refine for the country to benefit, then what is your use of lying down there? But I've seen it in the list recently, which means what the question we put to them, they've been able to follow up for a result. So, Mr. Speaker, with TOR, I will urge this House to adopt their report for the year 2024. Thank you.
Yes, please, Honourable Member.
Right, Honourable Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity to support motion number 27. Motion number 54. Mr. Speaker, the Audit Committee examined deficiencies in technical operations. As highlighted in the audit report, the committee observed that several critical equipment and utilities, such as boiler number 8, 6.5 megawatts generator, and key compressors, remained faulty, thereby limiting the capacity of the refinery to operate efficiently. The absence of adequate maintenance planning has contributed to persistent equipment failures. The committee urged management to accelerate maintenance works and adapt structural asset rehabilitation programs, given the strategic importance of these units in the refinery operations. Mr. Speaker, however, the committee commended the management of the Temari refinery for the efforts being made to sustain the refinery despite significant operational challenges and debt burden confronting the entity. The committee encouraged management to continue pursuing measures aimed at improving operations, performance, and financial sustainability. Mr. Speaker, given that oil refinery is critical to this nation's economy and energy security, helping reduce reliance on foreign markets, the refinery is also significant for Ghana across several critical areas. If the refinery is fully operational, about 45 to 60% of national fuel demand will come from the refinery. On the basis above, Mr. Speaker, I urge the House to adopt the report. Thank you.
Honourable members, I put the question. Those in favor of the adoption of motion number 54 on the order paper say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Honourable members, the motion is accordingly adopted. Yes?
Mr. Speaker, motion number 17. Page 9, motion number 17.
Yes, we are now back to Petroleum Hub. Honourable members, motion number 17 on the order paper. Chairman of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, before I move the motion, I want to make a correction that the Audit Committee report is for 2025 and not 2024. And so if we can, it can be corrected on the other paper. That also goes for the actual motion, the procedural 2025 and then the actual motion 2025. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move motion number 17 on today's order paper, page 9, procedural motion. I so moved.
Yes.
Mr.
Second.
Speaker, I second the motion.
Honorable members, this is a procedural motion. I put the question. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. So we move on to item 18. That's motion number 18. Please, Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move motion number 18 on today's order paper, page 9, that this Honorable House adopts the report of the Committee on Energy on the annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation for the year 2025. Mr. Speaker, I submit your committee's report and request that the Hansa Department would record all the pages as being read, as I read only the concluding part. Mr. Speaker, the committee notes the progress made by the corporation in strengthening internal controls, improving accountability, addressing deficiencies identified through audit reviews during the year under review. The committee urges management to sustain efforts at implementing the outstanding recommendations. In view of the foregoing, the committee respectfully recommends to this House to adopt this report on the annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation for the year 2025 in accordance with the standing orders. I so submit, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, seconder.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion, but in doing so, as I was saying earlier, that what we observe on their payment, that they outsource their payment, so it doesn't go through their internal audit validation before payment, because that was what was happening around 2024 and 2025. But they were able to tell us that now they've done the proper thing. Mr. Speaker, as we're speaking now, there's never been an executive instrument on the land that they've acquired. That is one. And then payment of compensation to the landowners is still pending, which they are yet to do. But Mr. Speaker, what Petroleum Hub is intent doing for Ghana is going to be a game changer if we are able to support Petroleum Hub, because Singapore, for instance, has such an entity, but without even producing a single oil, whereby Houston, recently we know about Dangote, is something that is going to help Ghana very well, because they are going to have a refinery enclave, petrochemical industries, which at the end of the day is going to employ not less than about 800,000 workers. But it seems our attitude towards making Petroleum Hub achieve its aim has been slowed. So if, Mr. Speaker, you take it as your baby, to see to it that Petroleum Hub achieve what they are intent doing for this nation, that will be a very great thing, and it will be in your name. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honorable member. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion number 18 on the other paper. Mr. Speaker, committee observed and recommendations a lot of items line up on the report. Mr. Speaker, failure to take salaries, payroll through internal audit validation before payment. The committee observed that staff salary payment was outsourced to private entity, Ernst Young and Young, and therefore the monthly salaries from August 2024 to January 2025 were not sent to the Internal Audit Department for validation and certification as required by the Internal Audit Agency. Mr. Speaker, management explained that payroll management was outsourced to East and Young Ghana, East and Young, that's into bracket AY, at the time because a full staff complement was not in place at the inception stage of the corporation. Following the audit flagging of the issue, salaries are no longer outsourced, but administered internally. Mr. Speaker, the committee recommends that Petroleum Hub strengthen expenditure controls to ensure that all disbursements, including payroll administration, are fully routed through the appropriate internal control mechanism, including internal audit verification. The committee further recommends that management ensures that the corporation accounts department staff have the requisite capacity to handle the roles of the department. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, the committee also saw that lack of insurance coverage by the Petroleum Hub Building Corporation in the Jomoro. The committee observed that the corporation's office building in Jomoro had not been insured against risks such as fire, theft, and natural disaster. Mr. Speaker, in view of this, I urge the House to adopt the committee report. Thank you.
Yes, honorable members, I put the question, and after that, the second deputy speaker will take over because I have to go and attend to another assignment. Those in favor of the adoption of the motion, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion is accordingly adopted. Second deputy speaker to take the chair.
Yes, leadership.
Mr. Speaker, we have one statement from Mr. Kwame Appiah-Kodua.
Have you finished the reports?
Yeah, we have finished with all the reports. So page 4, we have one statement. Mr. Kwame.
Is the honorable member in the chamber?
Speaker.
Yes, yesterday we were looking for you. So now the floor is yours.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to make a statement on tourism development in Ghana, especially the hidden treasures God has blessed the people of Mfantiakwa North with, and we must endeavor to utilize them adequately. Mr. Speaker, the government of Ghana has been steadily developing the country's tourism sector in an effort to make it one of the most foreign exchange earners for the country and to improve the livelihood of rural communities in the country. The introduction of the 15-year development plan seeks to contribute to the national and local economic development to enhance and impact the tourism development, leading the sector to create enough employment, revenue generation, environmental conservation, national cohesion,
overall economic growth. Mr. Speaker, the expansion of the responsibility of the Ghana National Tourism Authority further supported the diversification in the sector. Other milestones have also been achieved through funding from donor agencies, such as the World Bank. With these measures, Ghana has established a clear roadmap to further diversify the sector by expanding its market sources, developing tourism infrastructure, promoting both domestic and regional travel. Mr. Speaker, I wish to draw the attention of the House to the need to unveil our untapped tourist sites and develop them for the broader market, which will be a game changer as far as revenue generation is concerned. Noting that our dependence on donor support to build the country is unsustainable, we must tap into some potential money-making tourist sites across the length and breadth of our country. Mr. Speaker, in 2018, the World Bank signed a $40 million financing agreement with the government of Ghana for the development of the tourism development project, aimed at growing and diversifying Ghana's tourist sector. The first component of the project, valued at $4.5 million, focused on enhancing the ecosystem through industry training, branding, and marketing. The second allocation of $20 million, which was to identify and upgrade promising tourist sites. The third was $10 million, and it was to support business development services and training. The fourth and the final was $5.5 million, and it was for project management, institutional strengthening, and project coordination by the Ministry of Tourism, Arts, and Culture. The contribution of tourism in Ghana to the GDP is something that cannot be overlooked. In fact, it is one of the financial pivots on which our country runs. In 2022 alone, the travel and tourism sector in Ghana contributed to $3.5 billion and $3.6 billion projection for 2023 was achieved. Mr. Speaker, the Mfanti-Akwa North constituency, of which I am the member of parliament, there are a number of these tourist sites which have not been developed. The district is blessed to have the largest rock paradise, that is Adomankuma Fie, where we have rocks naturally carved to look like crocodile, palanquin, and a blackboard, a staircase, and other forms of animals. Mr. Speaker, what makes the place so beautiful is the Afram River, which lies beside the rock paradise, making it a refreshing spot for relaxation. Unfortunately, this place has not been developed yet. The constituency can also boast of 4 existing waterfalls, which are Trudu Waterfalls, Akrumu 1 waterfall, Akrumu 2 waterfalls, and then Usubin waterfalls. They have also not yet been developed to provide leisure and guarantee revenue for the state. We therefore appeal to government and private sector to invest in those tourist sites in their constituency. Mr. Speaker, aside these waterfalls, the Begro Township offers a unique cultural and traditional heritage sites that can also generate revenue for the state. The town lies in a valley surrounded by mountains and was discovered by a hunter some 530 years ago. The town has an interesting history centered around palm tree discovered by the hunter. we are told that the palm tree had a rich palmnus, a bebegro, which benefited the hunter and his family. Later they grew it in the community. Unfortunately, the offspring of that palm tree is still in the town till date. The township also encountered the Basri missionaries who settled among the people and introduced Christianity to them around 1880. It is said that Begro Township is one of the few towns in modern Ghana to have received the early message about Christ, our Savior. Today, we still have the burial sites of those missionaries, including Reverend Harold Moore, Reverend Lydia Ellis Moore, and others. The burial sites are preserved to date, but we have failed to utilize those places to create sites where tourists can go and reconnect with their religious belief. Mr. Speaker, the Mfanti-Akwa North constituency, due to its location in a valley, has a unique place on top of the mountain where paragliding activities could be carried out. There is a vast land that can also be given to tourists and creative art ministry and private sector developers for tourist-oriented development activities. When such sites are developed, the assembly can generate revenue, the local businesses can strive to even create jobs for the teeming unemployed youth in their constituency. Mr. Speaker, by this statement, I'm urging the Tourism and Creative Art Ministry, the private sector, to come to Begro in the Mfanti-Akwa North District in the Eastern region and invest in those tourist sites. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, Kwao is about 30 minutes drive from Begro, making it a complementary destination in the Mfanti-Akwa North for tourists. I thank you for the opportunity. I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, that's a statement from a member on tourist activities in the Mfanti-Akwa area. Yes, now, yes, Honorable Freche.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity, and I'd like to commend the Honorable Member for Mfanti-Akwa North, Honorable Kwame Appiah-Kodua, for the statement ably made on tourism development in his constituency. Mr. Speaker, I wouldn't want to politicize Oduman Kumahimfie and the waterfalls in the Mfanti-Akwa North constituency. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the budget that was allocated to the Tourism and Creative Art Ministry in 2025 and also 2026, and how much has been given to them, that is no wonder the Honorable Member is concerned. Mr. Speaker, the tourism sector alone, if well taken care of, can create so many jobs and can also contribute hugely to the GDP of this economy. Mr. Speaker, you know the service sector's contribution to our economy has been increasing every year on. And as such, it's high time we pay a particular attention to tourism. And if we can do that, Mr. Speaker, then we have to take interest in our heritage and our culture. Our heritage and our natural resources is what we have been given by our forefathers and by God. Ghana is blessed with such sites and such opportunities. So the question I keep asking myself is that if countries like Rwanda can invest so much in their tourism sector and reap off and create so much jobs for its young ones, why aren't we doing same? Mr. Speaker, if you look at the contribution that tourism alone is giving to this country, if we remember the year of return and beyond the return, how well we as a country have focused on it, then it leaves much to be desired. It's unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that we as a country, we are not putting our money where our mouth is. Because looking at the return on investment that we are getting from the tourism sector and the meager amount that is allocated to them in the budget is not even given to them. The question I ask myself is that we as a country, are we really interested and are we really ready to create the jobs for our young ones? Mr. Speaker, the maker of the statement was specific about 2018 World Bank signed financing agreement with the government of Ghana for the Ghana Tourism Development Project. Mr. Speaker, he was also specific about the fact that 4.5 was to focus on enhancing the ecosystem through industry training, branding, and marketing. Mr. Speaker, whilst I'm appreciating the honorable member for this statement, I think it's high time that this August House, this hollow chamber, takes special interest in the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Arts. Mr. Speaker, if you are to visit our sites, our museums, cultural center, recently the Committee for Chieftaincy, Culture and Religious Affairs visited Kumasi Cultural Center. Mr. Speaker, it was an eyesore. If you are to visit our museums right now, Mr. Speaker, not much to be desired of. If you are to visit our forts, not much to be desired of. So no wonder that Odumankuma Himfie and waterfalls at Fantiakwa is not being paid attention or given the necessary attention. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to encourage this hollow chamber that we should put more emphasis and we should encourage the government to invest so much and enough in this sector so that we can create more jobs and we can also increase our the economy, create enough so that our young ones will be able to support our national development. Mr. Speaker, with these few words, I thank you.
Thank you. Now let's move to Ayawaso East.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me the opportunity. And also want to thank our colleague for generating this insightful statement. Mr. Speaker, it is clear that Ghana has a huge potential when it comes to tourism. But I think that the country is more interested in the traditional income generating areas, the cocoa, the gold, the diamonds, whilst we have a huge potential. Can you imagine that we could only generate 6.2% of our GDP from tourism last year? How? When we have all these huge tourism potentials across this country. A country that celebrates more than 100 festivals in a year. Every community has its festival. But how are we branding those festivals to attract people? Last year, I think we had about 1.3 million arrivals in terms of tourists. But we could generate more. And when we say tourism, we only look at the outside. How are we encouraging people within our own country to move from one place to another. I think that when we were kids, when we were in school, tourism was more attractive than what is happening today. I remember when we were in school, we went on excursions, going to see other places. But today, how many even people move from place to place to look at what is around our own country? People think that when you are going on holidays, you should either be London or Dubai or whatever. When we have very interesting places, like a place I went and I was surprised, we have a nice place like that, like Blue Diamonds, around the central region. And other places that you go to, and they are very interesting places that you don't need to go outside to go and enjoy yourself. When I talk about festivals, look at festivals like the Damba festivals, like the Akwantukasia and all those things. Even when Abuachiri, where we catch live animals, where in the world do we catch live animals? People go and catch live animals. This is something when it is propagated world, we can attract a lot of people to country. And maybe when we even come to locally, I always want to make reference to Isaiah Sunima. We have the Kashika on the Salah day.
What is that?
Kashika, shake and dance. They are shaking and dancing and going around. That is Kashika. And when you come to Nima, it's a huge festival.
Is it nice, very attractive?
It's not. We have not been able to list it. It is not something that is even known, but it is something that happens every year. When the chiefs mount their horses, and every tribe, you know, Nima is a tribal area. So every chief and his tribe, the chief will be on his horse. Then the tribesmen would dress in their traditional dresses. More than maybe 30, 40 tribes. You see culture at its best. And I always want to encourage people, when they want to enjoy Salah, to come to Nima to see shake and dance. Men and women shaking and dancing and going around. You understand? So it is an interesting thing, and I expect that we should encourage people. We should encourage people to go around, see these things. Go to Abuachiri, see how they catch the life. When you go to Akwetia, you have the Nchambua Festival. You see live diamonds dancing around. You see them. These are things we should propagate by ourselves as a country. And I think that when we do that, we increase internal tourism, internal income, we generate more money, we attract more foreigners, and this will increase our distance. Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. I think shake and dance, when it gets there, you should inform members.
Mr. Speaker, definitely I will throw an open invitation to everybody here.
Wonderful. Yes, Honorable Frank, FEA.
Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity. And then, after such a wonderful delivery by my senior, I only rise to draw attention to the numerous tourist potentials in my constituency. Indeed, whilst doing that, I wish to thank the member for Fantiakwa North.
Honorable members, you see, somebody is advertising his constituency, but everybody is taking it to his or her constituency. Yes. Now he's talking about Afejeto.
Speaker, it is only when we do 1 + 1 that we can get 2. And indeed, honestly, Mr. Speaker, tourism is potentials and then contributions to this economy, we all know, from the economic aspects right to the environmental sustainability to job creation and everything. They are so important. Mr. Speaker, I particularly wish to say that if you review some documents, as at 2024, Ghana made about 5 billion Ghana cedis from this particular sector. And then we are patting ourselves at the back. Meanwhile, in the same year, the United States was able to rake in about $3 trillion from this sector. This clearly shows that much as we have reason to celebrate, we still have a lot of room to improve. Mr. Speaker, tourist facilities are in the cities just as they are in the rural setting. And I pray that even as we make conscious effort to develop, especially those in the cities, we must not neglect those at the rural settings. This is because youth unemployment, rural-urban migration is also directly connected to the extent to which we are able to maintain the ecological integrity of our surrounding. Mr. Speaker, it is estimated that close to about 300,000 of our youth migrate each year from the rural setting to the city centers. What it means is that this will have a cascading effect on urban housing, a cascading effect on traffic jam on our road, of course, a cascading effect on unemployment in the cities. And so if we can make conscious efforts, Mr. Speaker, to develop tourist facilities in the rural areas, what it means is we will not have problem with housing. We'll have many of our youth engaged in meaningful sources of livelihood in the hinterlands. We will retain them at the village setting. We will cut down overpopulation in the city centers, and indeed we'll put money right in the pockets of our people and make standard of living extremely appreciable. Mr. Speaker, it is also very important for us to know that even as the House prepares to go on recess, our health is important. Dead people do not have ambition. It is only when we are alive that we can dream of a successful tomorrow. I really want to use this August occasion and important platform to invite your good self, the clerks at table, after such heavy lifting section of a meeting, please, all of you, members of parliament, unite and come to Afajato. Of course, we have the tallest mountain. We need to hike, we need to climb, we need to burn our fats. Mr. Speaker, we need to ensure that our health is solid, is intact. That is only when we can build this nation. Besides the mountain, we have the Tafi Atome Monkey Sanctuary. You just need to come and discover the wonders of nature. These monkeys, you hardly see a dead one in the forest. When one of their own dies, they perform funerals by themselves. They bury the dead one. You don't see them. Mr. Speaker, these are things that we need to do. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, it will also interest you to know that in Afajato South, we have the snake village, where we sleep with the snake, we dine with the snake, and we do everything with the snake. We welcome you. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, with this very important opportunity, I just want to say that the House, once again, is welcome to Afajato South District or constituency. Thank you. I even told the mic was off.
Honorable members, you see, somebody took the trouble to bring it to this House, the tourist potentials in his constituency. Now it has been taken over to Nima East, to Afajato. That is the best of it. So we bring statement to a close, and we thank the maker of the statement as well as all those who contributed. I think honorable member for Ayawaso East and honorable member for Afajato South, as well as the maker of the statement, I hope you should make members know exactly when the tourist period are ripe for members to actually take part in this. Shake and dance, eh? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much so much. So, honorable leadership.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think we've exhausted the business for today. And since we've done under 5 hours, I will pray to move a motion that we adjourn the House.
But have we, excuse me, have we done the laying
Yes.
You did it in my absence.
What's that?
We haven't. There's a minister there. There's a minister there. We are going on recess next week. Oh.
Yeah. Tomorrow is the media review, the budget. So
But I thought we could just lay the 7. Once we have a minister, the one we had wanted to do, but there wasn't any minister. Anyway, you are prosecuting government business if you say we
yes.
should.
So, Mr. Speaker, I move the motion that the House adjourn till 12 noon tomorrow. Thank you.
Well.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the deputy leader indicated that tomorrow we will be receiving the minister responsible for finance on the mid-year review. And I just want you to relate with the minister responsible of finance that tomorrow what Ghanaians are expecting of him in the statement is to state clearly and pay Ghanaian contractors. Ghanaian contractors have not been paid, they are suffering, there are no money in the system. They expect that the mid-year budget review should capture that. Ghanaians are also expecting that the Akokon Kitinkiti, which have also turned to the guinea fowls that flew previously to Burkina Faso, that Omudi Ayel soup. Ghanaians expect that the finance minister tomorrow in his statement should be able to tell us about that Akokon Kitinkiti. Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians also are expecting that even though the finance ministry are talking about inflation coming down, but prices of goods and services keep rising at a faster rate. So a clear reconciliation that Ghanaians expect.
Leader, you are called to just second the motion.
Mr. Speaker, in doing so, I just want the deputy leader to know what Ghanaians are expecting of the finance minister tomorrow when he presents the statement. Mr. Speaker, the jobs that they promise Ghanaian youth, including NDC youth, is only on paper. The 24-hour economy, Yamutu. The Women's Bank, Yamutu. 133, Yamutu. Paying contractors, Yamutu. And every bit of the promise that you have done, Ghanaians are expecting that the mid-year budget tomorrow should be able to address that. If the finance minister come here to this house tomorrow, we will be observing and be monitoring every line of his statement or his budget. And we beg him, he should not come and ask of any money, because we will not give him any money, because the money that we have given. Mr. Speaker, yesterday, we approved about $1 billion. $1 billion as a loan to the minister. So, Mr. Speaker, I second the motion that we should adjourn till tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon. But they should know that yesterday they borrowed $1 billion in the name of the Ghanaian people, and we expect that you should be able to do so. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, you want to speak?
No. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was just reminding my honourable brother to wait till tomorrow. Save your energy and wait till tomorrow.
Well, honourable members, the motion for adjournment has been made and has been graciously seconded by the Deputy Whip. So the question is, all those in favor that this honorable house adjourn to tomorrow 12 noon, say aye. All those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The house is accordingly adjourned to tomorrow, 12 noon. The House stands adjourned.